To become the greatest manager in the world, you have to win trophies. And so Dad and I are starting a race to complete the Glory Hunter Challenge. We have to be the first to win the top 5 leagues and cup competitions in Europe, as well as the Europa League and Champions League. So with Dad starting as the manager of Borussia Dortmund while I'm in the dugouts at Eintracht Frankfurt, the race is underway. Who can complete the Glory Hunter Challenge first and call themselves the best manager in the world? Right, Dad, Glory Hunter time.
Yes, I like these. My favourite.
Oh, yes. We have got to win the 5 trophies, the 5 leagues, the best in Europe, of course, as well as the cup competitions and the Europa League and the Champions League. And it's the first one out of the 2 of us to do it. Now, we're starting off in Germany.
Yeah.
You are Borussia Dortmund. I'm Eintracht Frankfurt. So we're looking at the season preview. Second favourites. We've got the challenge, of course, of Bayern Munich in the league. We've also got, really, the challenge of Leverkusen and Leipzig being in around us as well. Very difficult league to win, but I think this is the perfect place to start for a Glory Hunter save.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Right, so Borussia Dortmund then. You didn't have that much money. No players on the ins for season number 1, as you can see here. So we're straight into the tactic. And you're setting out with a 4-3-3, dropping into a 4-2-3-1.
Yes. I mean, we've got good wingers in this team, good striker. So I just want to make sort of a midfield sort of good, solid. I feel a good solid midfield, really.
Yeah.
And then out of possession, I'm dropping back down into the defensive midfielder role, really.
Yeah.
So just to sort of make it a little bit harder to get beat, really. But I think the defence is good enough. I didn't have to bring anybody in. I mean, I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't have brought anybody in that was going to go straight into my first team.
Yeah.
So I've just gone with what I feel is their best starting 11, really.
Okay, well, Guirassy is obviously your star striker.
Yeah.
A man that can score a lot of goals if you get him going.
Yeah.
He's got 2 and 2 for you already in the league.
Yes,
he's got 6
start.
in the friendlies that you've played, so he can score a lot of goals.
I'm hoping I've got the good one out of the ones that you can get out of him, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Adeyemi, he's a lot of pace out on the wings. Julian Brandt, very creative type of player. So yeah, you got 2 very good players out on the wings, as you mentioned. I think your weakest position really is that centre midfield.
Yeah.
Pascal Gross is quite old now. He's 34 years of age, still decent. But Sabitzer and Nemecha are just like okay midfielders at this point.
They're okay, and like you said, the old guy there, that's one sort of position I've really got to look at replacing next season. So, I mean, really, I can just sort of concentrate. I feel like on the midfield, get possibly 2 good midfielders in next season.
Yeah. Oh, you're planning to be here next season.
If I need them, that is. I don't know yet. I'm just sort of thinking ahead at the moment. I'm not sort of. I don't think I'll win both trophies. But,
well, you won't, because I will. So, yeah, you will be playing next season. Now, I am, of course, Eintracht Frankfurt, the greatest team in Germany. My favourite German team. No transfers in for me either. And we're setting up like this. So we've got that classic Brazilian narrow box formation, but with advanced wing-backs. Dropping into a 4-4-2. Now, Ritz Doan is one of their new signings this season. Ritsu Doan, he's classically a right winger. However, as you can see, he kind of mixes around, and he's even played left back at some point because he's very strong left-footed. He can kind of play in that centre midfield spot. Now, I've decided to lock him into that spot as a free role, which gives him a little bit of free reign. He can run from the position. I'm actually asking him to stay wider as well, dribble more, make more runs and etc. Because I think he is going to be our most dangerous guy. But if we're looking at the best 11, he gets taken out for Mario Götze, who of course did score that World Cup final winning goal. But if we're looking at Mario Götze's attributes, I don't think necessarily we're looking at his prime years. 33 years of age, not exactly his prime years. So we've got the likes of Can Özcan, who I think is really good, but maybe lacks a little bit of pace and physicality in there. But we've got Wahi and Burkhardt up front, who I think might score us a fair amount of goals. Larson is very good in midfield. We've also got options on centre midfielder, as well as Oscar Højlund, Rasmus's brother, who is only 20. So there's a couple of young sort of Scandinavian midfielders that are in there that we could potentially rely on if we are here for longer than a couple of seasons. But Fiat at the back is a monster. You got Schlotterbeck, I've got Arthur Fiat.
Yeah.
Two very good left-sided centre-backs.
Ones. Yeah, that's right. Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely two that I do like signing as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I think I've got a good team. I don't think it's an amazing team, but with the likes of Rich Stoan playing in this role, I'm interested to see how he plays. I mean, on that wide midfield role on the out of possession, I'm excited to see how it plays out, really. So, start of the season. How have we begun this season? Because we have played 2 games in the league. Dad's won both of them so far. We're looking at my fixtures. Drew 0-0 to Offenheim, which isn't a bad result, to be honest. They got an okay team in this. Yeah. Beating Werder Bremen 4-2.
Good start there.
Very happy with that. Yeah. El Yawahi with 2 goals, Rich Stoan and Mario Götze. We scored 3 goals within 19 minutes. It was a great start. They've obviously got Victor Boniface, of course, Leverkusen's old player in their side, so it was always a dangerous one. And it looks like we did all right in the friendlies as well. Porto being our hardest one, we beat them. So it's a good sign and a good start for Eintracht Frankfurt. You won your first round
in your cup as well, DFB.
DFB-Pokal 4-0.
Yeah.
Very happy with that. If we're looking at your fixtures though, Dad, the fixture schedule, here we go. We have got Bundesliga, 2 wins from 2. FC Pauli, 2-1. Union Berlin, 5-2.
Yeah,
some good results there.
Good start. I won my first round of the cup 4-0 as well. So.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pleased with that. Good start. Friendlies I was doing well. Friendlies I was scoring a lot of goals. So yeah. I'm pleased with that as well.
Now, of course, we're both also in the Champions League. I don't think we'll be winning the Champions League in Season 1, but stranger things has happened.
No.
Stranger things has happened.
I'm chasing that one as well, I think. And it'll be done with.
But I think being in this division, we know Bayern Munich's going to be the most trickiest sort of opponent to overcome. It's all about when they have a slip up.
Yeah. One of us
taking advantage of it.
One of us is going to jump in there. Yeah.
Whether that be the DFB-Pokal or the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one of us can get hold of a trophy within the first couple of years and make it really interesting. So let's see what happens season number 1. The good start to the season continued, and my Frankfurt side was creating chaos by defeating an out-of-form Bayern Munich 1-0 in the Bundesliga. Unfortunately for Dad, despite taking the lead against Bayern himself, they came back and eventually defeated Dad's Dortmund 3-1. It wasn't the worst thing that happened to Dad early doors, because a straight red card against Hanover after 14 minutes in the second round of the DFB-Pokal seen him exit the competition early after they lost 1-0. However, even still with those 2 bad results, Dad's form in the Bundesliga has still been good, and he's in the title race. He is only a point behind the leaders, my Frankfurt side, because Bayern Munich have been awful this season so far and won less than 50% of their league fixtures by New Year. We still haven't played each other, and the first game of January is where we finally clashed, which means a lot more is on the line, and it's not just bragging rights. And as always, it seems between the 2 teams that me and Dad are managing, it has been a game for the neutral, as within the first half an hour we were both on the score sheet, and a former Dortmund wonder kid, Mario Götze, puts Frankfurt 2-1 up. The Bundesliga leaders then made it 3-1 through Nathaniel Brown, and we looked comfortable until Adeyemi caught us on the break with an amazing individual goal. With the score at 3-2 though, it was Adeyemi again who this time cut back and found the perfect cross to equalise in the 94th minute. A cracking game that doesn't do much for either of us in the title race. In the DFB-Pokal, however, we were finally eliminated from the competition by Bayern Munich in the quarter-final stage by 4-2, meaning the domestic double was over for this season. In the Champions League, we managed to finish in the top 8. However, Dad's Dortmund did not and had a defeat against Inter Milan in the knockout playoff round to progress, as they unfortunately lost against them 4-2 in both legs. Whereas I lost in the round of 16, as I unfortunately got drawn against PSG in a tight 2-legged affair. So although the Champions League dream in Season 1 is over, we are both still chasing that Bundesliga title. However, Dad's March was very bad, and the losses meant that he dropped down into 3rd place, and with 7 games to go, he's 9 points behind me. Leipzig, who jumped into 2nd, is who I then played next, and after a tight game, we managed to defeat them 1-0. Meaning with just 3 games left, we need just a single point, and we have Dad to play very soon. However, we didn't need it to go to that fixture, as we lifted the Bundesliga title in the following match with a home victory against Hamburg. Good job too, because Dad absolutely stuffed us 3-0 in the following fixture. Well, when Bayern Munich have a bad year, somebody's got to step up.
Yes.
10 points.
I'm just looking at 13 points better than me. Oh, I'm so disappointed with that.
I'm absolutely buzzing with that. Eintracht Frankfurt. Oh, let's go. The second ever Bundesliga win, which is mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
1959 was the last.
Do you know, I didn't think either of us had a good enough side. I thought we'd have to at least one transfer window to get into that.
Yeah. Well, I've gone on and done it in season 1. Now, Bayern Munich did win the DFB-Pokal, so we can't complete Germany straight away. And in the Champions League, we were knocked out by Paris Saint-Germain in the round of 16. Manchester City had gone on to beat Liverpool in the final of that. So it's a trophyless season number 1 for you, Dad.
Yes.
But it's a trophy for me. So if we're looking at how you finished in the season, knocked out in the knockout playoff round by Inter Milan as well, so we didn't either of us didn't get very far. Bayern Munich won in the final against Stuttgart. Neither of us even made the semi. I only made the quarters and was knocked out by Bayern Munich. And the third round, you still weren't even in it. So the second round is when you were knocked out by Hanover, who were in the second tier, by the way, the second Bundesliga.
You always find with this in Germany, you get knocked out quite early, don't you?
It's a tricky one. So life goes on for you at Borussia Dortmund to begin with.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, they sack you. I don't think they're going to sack you for finishing where you did. But Guirassy, maybe the only positive this season. Yes. 26 goals. We mentioned at the start of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And I'll, considering he's 30 as well, I still think there's a couple of more seasons in him as well. So
yeah,
if I do stay, it's a big if, I'll be happy with him being up front for me.
Yeah. I mean, it is only season 1.
Yeah, I know.
So
we're
all good.
I'm not sort of jumping ship too early.
Yeah. Adeyemi, 13 and 16. That's
I'm really
decent.
pleased with that. Yes.
I think the one
16.
to be disappointed with is Maximilian Bayer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also a striker, so I guess it's one of those things. But he did play 27 games and only got 11 goals. Didn't exactly play well when he did. And he is a far better player than those numbers suggest, especially because of how good he is physically. His pace is
He's probably
is
one
electric.
of those players, though, if you stick him up front, he'd improve in quite a lot. But I'm not going to stick him up front when I got the other striker. The only way I'm going to do it is put 2 up front, isn't I?
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, don't know where yet.
All right, so recruitment. Let's have a look at your transfer budget. You got £75 million to play around with.
I didn't think they would support me that much, so
for season 2.
So I didn't do that well in the Champions League.
Yeah, which you might still have now, finishing in 3rd. Yeah, it would be Champions League.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich actually go into the Europa League, which is an interesting one, but they still have Vincent Kompany at the minute.
Yeah.
Ronnie Falali is Vincent Kompany's name on the game.
I could have done with them sacking them, and I could have jumped ship tonight.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. We're going to take a look at the jobs in a minute. Let's just have a quick look at my Frankfurt side. The champions of the Bundesliga, Eintracht Frankfurt. Because, I mean, in season 1 doing that so well, but our top scorer only had 17 goals. Unbelievable, isn't it? Defensively, we were so good.
It's not. That's not a championship winning team, there.
Not
is
at all. 17 goals, 11 assists for Jonathan Burkhardt, who's done very well there. Don't get me wrong. But El Yawahi only 13, kind of disappointing to be honest. Ritsu Doan, who I locked in, of course, into that centre attacking midfield role, did okay. Not, nothing special. Didn't even play that naturally now. Still. So, yeah, I don't know. Nathaniel Brown and Christensen, our 2 fullbacks, have done very well in terms of assists. 16 and 12. Very good from them. I don't know who they're assisting because nobody's bloody scoring goals. But it doesn't matter because all that does matter is we are Bundesliga champions. So if we're looking at this, you can see why I want it.
Yes.
Most clean sheets, 16 clean sheets.
That does help. That's a hell of a lot of clean sheets. Isn't it?
Almost 50% of the games
Yes.
out of the 34 games. You did score the most goals. So it does make for quite an interesting read, really, because, if we're going off the attacking goals-wise, you're up there. I'm second, but just 2 behind you. If we're going defensively and we're looking at clean sheets and who conceded the least, I conceded 34. So there must have been a lot of games where I conceded a lot of goals, and then the ones I didn't.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of clean sheets I got.
I was down in 7th, so that's what let me down.
And 10th for you in clean sheets,
yes.
Which is, again, what's let you down with only 10, whereas me and Leipzig had 16 there. So there we go. That's how I went on and won the Bundesliga without barely scoring any goals. But we did lose 6 games, we drew 3, and we still won by 10 points. That's unbelievable. The first trophy is going to be added to a trophy cabinet in the Glory Hunter in Season 1, and it's got an Eintracht Frankfurt badge on it. Absolutely buzzing with that. However, jobs. I notice a few of them coming up. You notice a few of them coming up. There are some big ones.
Oh, I can't believe that these big ones have come up already.
Arsenal, available. They finished in 4th place in the Premier League. We know how much you love them.
Do I?
Newcastle's an interesting one.
Yes.
That's Europa League.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Inter Milan, 7th place.
I don't know whether I'm ready to go to Italy yet.
Yeah, that is your bait.
I don't think I'm...
Mine's the Premier League. If you remember, that FA Cup haunts me every single time. But Inter Milan and Juve, two very interesting ones. But the biggest one, Barcelona finishing in 4th place. 4th. You just can't believe it, can you?
No.
In the season number 1, 4th place, Bilbao had 5 more points than them. Atletico Madrid had 15 more points than them.
When you see where Real Madrid is, I mean, 29
13 more
points.
points, yeah.
You can understand why they sacked the manager.
Unbelievable. So yeah, that's a massive deal, and I think it's going to be very obvious whether or not some of us are going to be applying for these jobs or not. So let's crack on with the summer of season number 2, because it looks like already, Glory Hunter, anything can happen.
Oh, definitely.
As predicted, I decided to apply for both of the jobs I thought would be perfect opportunities in Barcelona and Inter Milan. And after seeing this, Dad decided to go one step further and apply for 4 different jobs that were on the market in an attempt to find somewhere where he could pick up his first trophy. Because of course, after the league title win in Germany, I have taken the lead and won the first one. After a few weeks of waiting, however, on the same day, both Inter Milan and Barcelona both approached me for an interview to become their new manager. Dad was unfortunately unsuccessful at Juventus, Inter Milan and Arsenal, but he did get an interview at Barcelona himself. However, given my success in the first season, he wasn't too hopeful, and even I had the choice of both Inter Milan and Barcelona, deciding to go to Spain. One thing that I didn't realise upon accepting the Barcelona role was that Robert Lewandowski had already retired and left the club, meaning we had 0 natural number 9s in the squad. We had a great budget to play around with, but when searching the market for a striker replacement, nobody really stood out as a good option for me. Dad also had a good budget and some bids were going in to bring in some new faces, but Dad was also thinking about what system would work best at Borussia Dortmund. But at least the signing of my dad's right-hand man Frank Kessie was complete. I actually signed 2 big signings on the same day, with Scott McTominay and Mickey van der Ven joining Barcelona, which had me cooking up something crazy. My plan was to utilise McTominay as a shadow striker and use the inside forward and the wide forward as my attacking striker replacements, but call me crazy because it started off really well. As on the opening day of the season, my Barcelona side beat Real Valladolid 9-1 to kick off the Omega Luke era at the new camp. And Scott McTominay has been absolutely elite in that role as a new focal point of our Barcelona setup. As much as Dad was hoping to get off to a great start himself in Germany after taking the lead against Stuttgart on the opening day 2-0, they were very lackluster at defending and ended up drawing the fixture 2-2. Even still, with me out of the country and enjoying myself in Spain, Dad needs to step up this season and win a trophy.
Well, Dad, if you had told me 2 years ago that Scott McTominay would be the best player in the world, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are, a couple of years later, and he is winning the Serie A MVP. He is signing for Barcelona for £104 million, and he is basically allowing us to, we lose Lewandowski? No worries. We've got Scott McTominay. 3 goals, 3 assists, the player of the match in a strikerless formation that started very well for us here at Barcelona.
I'm speechless, mate. Absolutely speechless. Not just the tactic, but you signing in for over 100 million.
I know. Well, the thing is, when I was looking, as soon as I joined Barcelona, big mistake was not checking to see their squad when I applied for the job and then accepted it. Because in my head, we're season 2. Well, we've only had 1 season.
Yeah.
Lewandowski should be still there.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
You would think so. But apparently not. Because Robert Lewandowski just does not exist anymore. He completely retired.
Yeah.
Just gone in season number 1.
Well, the rumour is Harry Kane's going to take over there, isn't he?
Well, I could have gone for him, to be honest. But yeah, can't even type in Robert Lewandowski. Just literally just didn't exist.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
So I was like, right, well, what am I going to do now? So when I was going through the strikers, there was nobody in the world that I could find that I was like, they're on like Barcelona's level of a striker while I had the striker bit locked, other than Atletico Madrid's Julian Alvarez. However, he was my whole budget.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it going, nah, it's maybe a little bit too much.
I mean, the good thing about buying him, if you could have afforded it, it really weakened that side, didn't it?
Yeah. Lautaro Martinez at the time was not appearing because he had signed a new contract, I think, at some point in the January. So he wouldn't have signed at that point because I inquired. He's now there, which is rather annoying. But when I was then just going, okay, let's type in the attributes for the striker, one man cropped up and I was like, that's who I'm going to get. And it was Scott McTominay. And if you're looking at his attributes, he is fantastic.
You just look at him a different
He's
way
very
now,
good.
don't you? I'm looking at that now thinking, if you didn't put his name at the top and his picture there, I'd be thinking, I'm going to sign that guy.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yes.
So, yeah, I brought Scott McTominay in for quite a lot of money, I must admit. He was very expensive, 104 million. But he did join with Mickey van der Ven.
I mean,
so I
to
also
me,
bringing him in too.
That's a good signing.
Yeah. Because there was one real weakness outside not having not having a striker at all in the side was left-sided centre-back. We're playing Andres Christensen, not quite as good. We've got Pau Kabasi, a youngster in there. Let's stick Mickey van der Ven next to him. The rapid pace of 20 pace in there. Very good defender. And then we had a little bit left over because we also sold a couple of players. Roger Fernandez from Al Ittihad is sort of a substitute who can fill in on both sides, both wings. And he'd be okay with, he's happy with coming off the bench, which we're absolutely fine with. So, setting up in this, I mean, it's a bit bonkers, I know, but I tell you what, it's working. It's working. 3 games from 3, and we have won all 3 of them, and we are scoring goals as well. Real Valladolid 9-1, Granada 4-1, Bilbao, who finished above us last season, 4-1. I think the move to Barcelona was a good one.
I can't argue with that. I tried it, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah. So, unfortunately for you, Dad, I got the job.
Sign Scott.
Well, you wouldn't have. No, that's it. But, I mean, he's done the business. Every single game he's had some kind of goal contribution.
I can't say too much at the moment if he's scoring goals, so I'm going to stay speechless, I think.
Yeah, taking the limelight from Lamine Yamal, I think, at the minute.
Definitely, yeah.
Now, Dad, you stayed at Dortmund.
Yeah,
not by choice. You had to.
Well, I went for a couple of the big teams, couldn't get the job, and obviously it was going to be favoured that you just won the league, and so you're going to be that one step ahead of me.
Yeah.
So, but I took a chance to see what happened, and I didn't get the job. So no, I'm quite happy to stay there. They gave me a good budget to work with.
They did.
So
you spent 120 million in total.
I got a bit of work still to do, and I'll tell you what, I'm quite happy with the signings that I've made.
I mean, elephant in the room, Frank Kessie.
Get in. Start at 26 and bring my mate in.
Yeah.
So he's really pleased to come and help me out. He won't get into my first team, I don't think, but he's definitely going to make my midfield a lot stronger as a squad. I mean, like we said in the first season, that could have been my little bit of a weakness. Mm-hmm. That's what I concentrated on. Making that sort of like position a bit more stronger in my team, and the right-sided centre back I think I felt I needed as well. So that was all I sort of went for my signings for, really.
Okay, well,
but get Big Frank in, he'll do the job for me. I always win a league when Big Frank's with me.
It's your version of Scott McTominay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
same age. Yeah, both 29. Mine just cost me an extra 100 million man more.
Yeah.
This was a free transfer. But Frank Kessie, here he is in Glory Hunter, yet again, popping up.
Yeah.
Haraldsson from Lille, very good player that you've brought in, 23. That's not hair dye. He's Icelandic, so he can play from the left, he can play centre mid, play centre attack midfielder.
Straight down through the middle, that's what I've got him in there for.
Great mentals. Only real weakness, he's slightly weak on the ball, but, you know, he's 5'11", he's a tricky player on the ball, great passing ability.
Good bit of flair as well in there as well, so
very good player.
Good sign, I feel that one was.
Josip Salisic making Bayern Munich ever so slightly weaker, bringing a centre back in from them. So
I mean, he was a fringe player for Bayern Munich, so they were saying to me. So, but he'll run it in my first team, I feel, on the right hand side.
Can also cover right back as well if you need be. De Ketelaere is an interesting one. I like that.
Yeah.
Charles De Ketelaere.
I'm just looking at him thinking, I might change my tactic. He might just slip into that role as the attacker with him. But if I don't change a tactic, he's definitely going to be the attacking midfielder that I could do with as well, really.
6'4", left-footed.
He's a big guy, isn't he?
Yeah, not bad in the air. Great passer.
Flair's 14 of us. I still think that's good, really.
Yeah, and then to kick things out, we've got Justin Lerma, just £3.5 million. Bit of just a one for the future, even though you don't plan to be here for very long.
That's right, yeah. I mean, I had a little bit of money left over, and I thought, well, I'm not going to sort of like just leave it there when I can get a young lad like this in, and he, like you say, one for the future. He can be really good, really, and it just sort of makes the bench a little bit more stronger.
All right, so match day then. Your squad. You mentioned the tactical change.
Yeah.
You've gone for a 4-2-2-2 with that 4-2-3-1 out of possession.
I feel that my midfield is a little bit stronger than what they were, so I've done away with having the defensive midfielder in there and gone for an extra striker.
Yeah, Di Catalare, it says he's on the right there, but obviously Julian Brandt played there quite a lot. I imagine this will change quite a lot as the season goes on.
I feel that's
Di
what it'll do.
Catalare flowing in around these positions.
All around, really.
Yeah. How have you started this season, though? Because if we're looking at the fixtures, you've obviously had a tricky start with Stuttgart at home. They've pinched a draw out of you there, so you have dropped points.
Two late goals, yeah.
Outside of that, a 13-0 win.
Yeah, and the cup started well.
Yeah, got to get past the second round.
Yeah.
Hertha Berlin 3-1, which is a good one.
Yes. I think that's a good win. So
Di Catalare with
not
2.
too bad. It's the same sort of start as what you had last season. I won every game, and I think didn't you draw one game last season?
Yeah.
So it's the same start as what you had last season.
Got Freiburg next round in the cup though.
Yeah,
which
that could be a tricky one for me.
Yeah, they have just been relegated.
I've had a quiet word with my assistant manager, and I've told him to make sure he plays the strongest team.
Well, let's see if he
make
listens.
sure Frankie's in it.
Yeah. Of course, Arsenal were managerless at the start of the season. They've got Luis Enrique, which is an interesting one because
that's going to make them really hard to pick,
that made the PSG job come up, and neither of us went for that, which was maybe a bit of a miss on our part.
Yeah.
I think I had already moved to that point. I don't think PSG would have considered you.
No, I don't think they did. So it didn't. I don't think they advertised it anyway. So that's why we didn't see it.
Yeah, and then of course, if we're looking at, we'll stick with the same league actually, and we'll have a look at the Bundesliga because Bayern Munich were very poor last year, stuck with Vincent Kompany, which I was very surprised with, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. The PSG. Let's see who the manager is there now. Antonio Conte. So a little bit of managerial movements going on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I used to rate him as a manager until he came to Spurs.
Yeah, Inter Milan was another job that became available. They've now got Oli Werner as their manager. I'll be honest, I didn't know who he was. He was the Leipzig manager, so Leipzig job also came up too. Yeah. So they've switched around their managers. I think they rejected you, unfortunately. I think they offered me the job at the same time as the Barcelona one. Yeah. And that was an easy decision.
I wasn't disappointed they rejected me.
Yeah, so it's avoiding.
I think it was a bit too
Italian
early.
league.
Yeah, my head's not round it at the moment.
Yeah, there we go. We've already season number 2 moved club, and we're looking at Scott McTominay in a strikerless formation at Barcelona. What is going on? It's FM26. It's Glory Hunter. Make sure you press that subscribe button if you're excited for this series. You don't know what's going to happen next. Let's see what happens. Season number 2. Dad was mainly focusing on the league this season. His main problem was that Bayern Munich started the year very well compared to last season. When I faced Real Madrid in the El Clasico fixture, it finished 0-0. But my other matches in La Liga, we were incredibly clinical with our front three all chipping in. Real Madrid did drop quite a few points by the halfway mark, and we were sat 8 points clear in La Liga going into the new year. Dad was on the chase in the Bundesliga as Bayern had opened up a 6-point gap from them. We were also firm favourites to win the Copa del Rey as we won our semi-finals 16-1 on aggregate, and we were either going to face Betis or Celta Vigo. For Dad to do the same in the DFB-Pokal, he would have to knock out the league leaders Bayern Munich. And Dad wasn't exactly on the best form as even Gladbach knocked him out of the Champions League knockout playoff round 5-4 on aggregate, while also dropping down to 3rd place again in the Bundesliga after a bad run of form. Remarkably, Dad's Dortmund side had a great push towards the end of the season, and in the semi-final against Bayern Munich, they absolutely destroyed their rivals, winning 3-0 on the night and sending them through to the DFB-Pokal final. There was bad news for Dad, however, in Spain, as we had just defeated Real Madrid 1-0 at the Bernabeu to go and be crowned champions with 4 games remaining, as we opened up an 18-point gap in doing so. It also doesn't stop there, as we then complete the domestic double, as we also defeated Betis in the Copa del Rey final 1-0 to lift our 2nd trophy this season. And you know what they say, it comes in threes. And the third bit of unfortunate news for Dad is that we also knocked out Liverpool in the Champions League semi-final, and we attempt the treble.
And so Dad had one task that he had to complete: win the DFB-Pokal to get his first trophy. And in the final against Stuttgart, it only took 7 minutes to get on the score sheet and take the lead. It stayed 1-0 till a Stuttgart howler allowed De Ketelaere to double Dortmund's lead, and the game was over when a well-worked goal in the pocket of the right-hand side freed up Julian Brandt to smash in a third. And Dad was on the board for Glory Hunter, picking up his first trophy in season number 2. But I'm sure he is already panicking at the thought of me lifting the Champions League. And it was Arsenal who I will be facing in the final. Another team, of course, who changed their manager at the start of the season. And with how in form my Barcelona side was this year, and Arsenal finishing in second in the Premier League, I was definitely the favourite. Not even 5 minutes was on the clock before we took the lead from a 1-2 down the right, and eventually it was scored by Lamine Yamal. However, Arsenal responded pretty much from kickoff too, and in what was shaping up to be an exciting final, Ødegaard got the equaliser. It calmed down then for the next 30 minutes until Scott McTominay popped up with a sneaky second from inside the 6-yard box. And this is when we took control, and after working it down the left and hitting the post, we recycled it and Rafinha got a shot away to score a third. The second half came, and being 3-1 up, Arsenal stretched themselves pushing for a chance, and that's when we struck and scored a fourth to finish the game. And in just one season, I had created a 3-trophy gap between Dan and I and got the business done in Spain all in one season. With nothing left for me to do here, I'd be looking for a new job this summer.
Treble winning season.
Did any of you guys see that coming? Because I didn't.
With Scott McTominay and a strikerless.
God.
Unbelievable.
To be honest with you, I'm pleased that you beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I'm so disappointed you've won the
What a
treble.
season.
3 trophies in one season. God, that's 4 trophies now, isn't it?
Real Betis in the
I'm
Copa
struggling
del
already.
Rey.
2 seasons, I'm struggling.
La Liga champions. 107 points. 21 points more than Real Madrid.
Unbelievable.
Remember last season how bad like the difference was last season?
See, you got me thinking there, and I'm thinking to myself, well, you're not going to stay there because there's nothing else you can win, is it?
No.
So I just apply for the job and just not change a thing and just let it run.
Well, the interesting thing is, yes, I'll have to leave Barcelona. There's nothing else for me here to win. The jobs that are available, there's only one that at the minute is interesting, but I probably won't go for it. Because I'd look very weird if I went back to Eintracht Frankfurt. Because they finished in 7th place.
They finished in 7th place, so that means they didn't win the league. So I can see why they've sacked their manager.
Yeah, but Bayern Munich obviously retaining in Germany. But Real Madrid is available and Atletico Madrid. So all 3 of the biggest Spanish clubs are available. As soon as I resign,
you know I'm
going to
pick the wrong one, don't you? You just know I'll pick the wrong one to go to.
Because all 3 of them are decent on this.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Atletico Madrid, Julian Alvarez, he's so good on the game that you can build a team around him and he can carry your side to the point of scoring enough goals to win the whole bloody thing.
Yeah.
But of course, Real Madrid are fantastic. I've proven this Barcelona team's very good. You just have to buy a striker because I know you won't do strikerless. So
no, if I get that job, I'm just leaving it.
Well, I'm giving you the tactic. You'll have to try and build it yourself. £47 million is all that's there. So once I do resign, Real Madrid is there, Frankfurt is there, but they're the only 3 jobs there. But of course, as soon as I leave, all of the big managers in the world are going to be wanting those 3 jobs.
Yep.
I'm just going to wait to see what pops up.
Oh, something's going to pop up, isn't it? I mean, there's just the Real Madrid and Barcelona jobs. You're going to get the big guys going for that.
Yeah. Interesting. The idea of going back to Frankfurt would be quite funny for me because it's basically the same team. They've loaned a couple of players and stuff, but they basically got the same team there. So, I mean, I won the league with that.
Yes.
I wouldn't be that far away from doing anything else with it. I think they've got a couple of players. Like Johan Bonny, it looks like a new player that they've just brought in. So, yeah, I mean, can I win the cup there? Go back, win the cup, do the business with the team I started with, but going back, which is kind of a funny little story there.
Well, usually the German Cup is the hardest one out of the 2 to win, I always find.
Yeah.
And, I've got it in the bag already, so...
You have indeed. Congratulations.
Yes.
Your first trophy on the board.
Thank you very much.
Win the DFB-Pokal. Let's have a look then. 52 goals in 52 games with 27 assists for Rafinha.
52 goals.
for the left winger.
This is the one I...
Scott McTominay, 48
Come on.
and 19.
Come on. Is anybody sort of said they're just striker, we're going to bang in 48 goals in a season? Who would put the
32
money
and
on that?
31 for Lamine Yamal.
I mean, I can understand that. I can see that.
Yeah. Fermin, who come off the bench 18 times, started 30, 26 and 13. Unbelievable. 41 assists, by the way, from Alejandro Balde. 41 from the left back.
That's a hell of a good, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's absolutely mental. So, yeah. I mean, that was fun. Nice little season at Barcelona.
I wanted you to struggle somewhere. Christ almighty.
Well, I don't know where I'm going next. Anyway, let's have a look at your Borussia Dortmund side.
Come on, let's
They've
have a
won the
look at that.
DFB-Pokal.
I'm pleased with that.
Fantastic win. 3-0 against Stuttgart in the final there on the final day of the German season. Very good, because it could have looked quite bad if you didn't win that, get into the final, and obviously not exactly coming close, really, to winning the Bundesliga again, because Bayern Munich stepped up. They beat by 14 points. Augsburg was in the middle somehow. They've done very well. The league table there looks very strange with Leipzig and Frankfurt so far down. Leverkusen there in 5th, obviously, but yeah, so far away from Bayern Munich.
It was a 2-horse race, really. It should have been a 2-horse race, but I still finished 3rd.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Unfortunate for you. If you were to stay, you'd only have £33 million as well.
Yeah.
So, the temptation, I guess, would be to apply for those jobs that are coming up.
To be honest with you, with 3 big jobs like that, I'd be a mug not to apply for them again.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Barcelona, would they they turned me down last season, would they consider me again this season?
Well, you got one cup under your belt.
Yeah,
They only took one trophy for them to consider me.
I mean, I've done. If you look at the league, I've been thereabouts in the league, and I've brought a trophy home. So I got a little bit of a sort of leeway with myself. So they might sort of think, yeah, he's worth a putt, really.
All right. Well,
please.
Season number 2 is all going to kick off for the summer of season number 3. So make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss it. But we've got some trophies to add to our trophy cabinet.
So Dad puts his first trophy on the board with the DFB-Pokal in Germany. However, I burst into the lead with my 1 year at Barcelona, and the pressure is on Dad now. Subscribe to find out if he can mount a strong comeback. So far, after starting in Germany at Frankfurt and Dortmund, it's gone very well for one of us. Because after winning the Bundesliga in the first season in Germany with Frankfurt, I moved to Barcelona, who finished in 4th place, and somehow we signed Scott McTominay. And without Lewandowski, who retired early, we won the League, Cup and Champions League, completing the treble, which makes my trophy cabinet look great after just 2 seasons. Dad did manage to pick up the DFB-Pokal in the 2nd season, so all is not lost. And he is on the board with a trophy in his cabinet going into season 3. Of course, it's time for me to resign from Barcelona as Spain is now complete and I've got to find a new home. And with Real Madrid, Atletico and Barcelona all looking for a new manager at the same time, Dad was quick to apply for all 3. He was rejected from Barcelona and Real Madrid instantly, but Atletico invited him in for an interview. Hilariously, without even applying, Real Madrid asked me to interview, which I of course turned down. Dad was offered the Atletico Madrid job, but he decided to actually turn it down and stay in Dortmund for now. And that's because he had been eyeing up some players, including Marc Casado from Barcelona, who he put a bid in for. He was, however, going to be losing his centre-back after multiple clubs activated his release clause. I had problems because the season had begun and I still wasn't in a job, so I was going to have to wait even longer. Dad was raring to go, although he had a tough start to the season, having to play Bayern Munich in the Super Cup and one of his opening league fixtures.
Dad, going into season number 3, I have still yet to find a job. Everton is there, but there's no other really that is good enough, I think, to go for.
Could be a free season for me,
yeah. You stayed sort of reluctantly, but also sort of by choice.
Yes, I applied for 3 jobs, got one of them, or got offered one of them, and it was the one I really sort of like that. I mean, 3 Spanish sides, really good sides, but you're going to take Barcelona and Real Madrid first before you take Atletico Madrid in you. So,
yeah.
And I thought it might have been just a struggle to take over Atletico Madrid rather than when you got the 2 big boys, especially when Barcelona had just done what you've just done with it. So,
Arne Slot's took over
yes.
at Barcelona, so they've got a new manager there in Arne Slot. They've also signed Francolinho as their new striker.
Yeah.
Obviously, didn't fancy going strikerless
Which
with
is what I was hoping to do, not a necessary sign him. I'd have gone in there and just splashed all the money on one player.
Yeah.
And it would have been the striker, really.
and then just paid Scott McTominay loads more wages. You're only on 200k. That's mental. Crazy money. But let's have a look and see who took over the Real Madrid job. Of course, because that was the other job that became available, Antonio Conte. So he's now gone there from PSG. So PSG job.
Yeah, that didn't come up though. As
couldn't even apply for it.
Couldn't even apply for it yet. Which I would have jumped at that chance if I could.
Yeah. If we're looking at the PSG job, Julian Nagelsmann took over from Germany. So it was sort of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
They had already gone for Nagelsmann and you literally couldn't even apply for it, which was very frustrating because, of course, I would have gone for that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But there we go. Can't do it. Never mind. Atletico Madrid, without obviously offering you the job and then couldn't get it, Thomas Tuchel took over from England.
Yes.
So the England manager leaving. Well, he might have already been sacked, actually. But you can't actually see the... Can you see the England manager anymore? I don't know whether you can. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, they've... Thomas Tuchel is now Atletico Madrid manager. So lots of manager merry-go-rounds. But you stay put at Dortmund and I stay put being unemployed. So let's have a look at the transfers that you made, because when you decided that you were going to stay, you really locked in terms of the transfers coming into the club.
Yes.
Stanisic was out of your hands. Real Madrid activated his release clause of £44 million, as well as other clubs actually.
Yeah.
And Mecha was another player that you decided to let go.
Yeah.
27 million. So 78 million actually come into the club, which allowed you to spend 127 million. It's big money.
It was big money, but I had to get big players in to sort of improve what I'd just done on the season before. I'm still struggling in the league, so yeah.
Casado was the first man. Good name to bring in, I think.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, the defensive midfielder, just really, really good player. So yeah, I didn't think I'd get him. He was wanted by other clubs, but lucky enough, he picked me to come to my team. So I'm looking forward to having him in the team. Really,
23 years of age, mental attributes are disgusting. Very good player.
Yeah.
Then we got Conor Bradley from Liverpool, so good right back option.
It was. I mean, there was. I was surprised that he was the better one of the 3 or 4 that I looked at. So yeah, and he was the youngest one I looked at as well. So yeah. I got him in, so hopefully he can do a job for me there.
Sucic was another centre midfielder, so could play CDM, could play centre mid, but so again, very good attributes.
2 strong centre midfielders in there now, so that's like what I always call the spine of the team, and this one finishes the spine of the team
with
for me.
Scalvini.
Really. Yes, he's going to be on the right hand side. I've got a good left hand side sort of defender already there, so I've got a good right hand side there now. So yeah.
4-2-3-1. If we're looking at it here, the best 11 pick pretty much there is exactly the same. Garassi, Bayer, Adeyemi and Di Ketelaere is your front 3 or front 4.
Relying on them again to score the goals for me. But I've just sort of made my defence and my midfield, especially defensive midfield, very, very strong now, I feel.
Yeah. Okay, well, start the season. Obviously, you played Bayern Munich. Not the result that you wanted away from home.
No.
92nd minute winner from Harry Kane.
Yeah.
After being 2-0 up.
I know, you start off like that against them, especially at their place. It's going to be an hard game, but Harry Kane does what Harry Kane does.
Mm-hmm.
Scores hat-tricks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a problem.
You drew and dropped points against Wolfsburg as well, which is bad. And Darmstadt got a 2-0 win. So you finally got a first win in the Bundesliga, the one main trophy you'll go in for.
Yes.
This season.
Yeah, it's got all out for the leagues. I don't particularly care if I get knocked out really early in the cup, which sometimes happens to the big teams. I've got that one in the bag, so... Yep, all or nothing for this season now.
There was temptation for me to go back to Eintracht Frankfurt. They are top of the league. They are doing all right. Horst Stefan was the guy who took over. So he was actually Gladbach's manager. I didn't fancy going to Gladbach, unfortunately. So I'm kind of just sat back waiting for stuff to happen now. As soon as it gets to around about that November period, that's when I'll be starting to look at the managerial vacancies really closely, because that's sort of when they'll start sacking managers. It's hard at this point, though, because usually that's only when they sack the clubs that are down the bottom of the league. It's very rare that you'll find a big club getting sacked around about November unless they are doing terrible.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, well, is it even worth taking over? Because you could just wait to the end of the season where they'll probably be in a better situation.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So we'll see. It's a bit of a disadvantage starting without a club here, but I've got a big advantage in terms of the trophies won because of the Barcelona treble last season. So we're all right. We're sat relaxed. as we go into season number 3.
As season 3 progressed, Dab was doing a great job pursuing Bayern Munich in the title race in Germany while also doing well in the Champions League, as he defeated my old Barcelona side 1-0 at home in the league phase. But a 5-0 win against a real struggling Leipzig might have just inadvertently given me an opening. As while Dad was 3 points behind Bayern Munich, that knocked Leipzig down into 16th place and they sacked their manager, Lukas Kwasniok. And while nothing else was happening and appealing around the manager world, Leipzig had a decent side, and although we're struggling in the Bundesliga, they were in the Europa League as well, while still having a very good team and being the DFB-Pokal with only Frankfurt left to play, because Bayern and Dad's Dortmund were out. Almost immediately after applying, they invited me in for an interview, and of all days, on Christmas Day, they offered me the job to take over as manager. Our setup was going back to my old tricks of 2 wingers on one side, with Diamonde and Nusa, and out of possession, Nusa drops into a more central role. As the months went on, however, I could see why this Leipzig side was struggling so bad. They were awful in the league, and we could not get a good run of form going. By the end of March, we were no better than where we joined the club 4 months previous, sat in 16th place, while Dad was still only 3 points behind Bayern Munich. Unfortunately for us, Benfica then went and knocked us out of the Europa League quarterfinals too, meaning it's just the DFB-Pokal that we had to focus on. We had reached the semi-final in that competition though and had Elversberg to play next. Dad was on his own little journey in the Champions League as he had to overcome my old Barcelona side in the quarterfinals. We got ourselves in the DFB-Pokal final with a comfortable 4-1 win, but it's our old side Frankfurt that we've got to play in the final. After a 2-0 loss in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals, Dad's Dortmund side came out swinging back in Germany, and they put on a classic performance, getting all 3 goals required, keeping a clean sheet to progress through to the semi-finals, where they would face Betis. This time it took them until extra time after 2 1-1 draws before Dad's Dortmund put themselves in the Champions League final. Both have got important finals that could lead to trophies then, and my match against Frankfurt in the DFB-Pokal is up first. And this comes off the back of us both having bad ends of the league campaign, as I finished down in 15th while Dad dropped down to 3rd. Things were looking great for my Leipzig side in the cup final against my former team too, when we took the lead on just 15 minutes from Bakayoko's wonderful finish. However, the tide soon turned and we were back to our old ways, losing the ball terribly in midfield, and Frankfurt then punished us. From there, they controlled the game and we couldn't get ourselves back into the lead, and eventually Frankfurt made it 2-1 before 25 minutes had even been played, and then went on to score a 3rd to kill the tie and lift the DFB-Pokal trophy. Heartbreak for me seeing the team I turned down applying to go back to and to go on and lift the one trophy in this country that I still needed to win. Over to Dad though, who was hoping to close the gap in trophies down to 2 with a big win against Man City in the Champions League final. Things didn't start well when Adeyemi was shown a straight red card 13 minutes in. Dad's Dortmund side played the perfect game though and kept Manchester City quiet, just hoping for that one chance, which eventually came in the second half when Bayer found Di Ketelaere at the back post. And miraculously, Manchester City had no response. They couldn't break Dad's side down and they held on to a 1-0 win to go on and lift the Champions League trophy.
Well, Dad, what a win out of nowhere.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially with 10 men.
What could have been a poor season, it's turned out a good season. That's a big one for me to have in the bag, really.
Yeah.
With 10 in the 13th minute and still do City. Whoa, come on.
Yeah.
And I mean, City possession was 58. I have 42. So, all right, shot wise, they had a lot more shots. But you're thinking of that when they got Haaland in the side. So, is he there? Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
really.
he was.
Yeah,
He played.
And but I'm going to take that.
Yeah. As you should.
Big trophy in the cabinet.
Cabell was the man of the match, your goalkeeper. Always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, to be, didn't he? Really, in a game like that, he's always going to be, really. So
yeah, well done. The Champions League was won, but I did think at some point I was going to be extending my lead.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we could not get it over the line here at the Leipzig Cup final against my old side Frankfurt, which is rather annoying.
Oh, they done me a big favour there.
That it's Frankfurt who's gone on to win it.
Because you nearly took that job.
Yeah.
You nearly went back there, didn't you?
But, I mean,
and you
weirdly,
went 1-0 up as well.
Yeah, weirdly, this Leipzig team, very good. Everybody knows how good the Leipzig team is. It's really struggling this year. I mean, I took them over in the relegation zone, or 16th. I only finished in 15th.
Yeah.
Really poor. very, very poor. I mean, the tactic we were trying to run is a little bit wacky with the two on the left, but
still got you to the final.
Yeah, it got me to a cup final.
You nearly done what you needed to do. Just that one trophy, wasn't it?
It's so bizarre. I mean, my run to the final, I had Elversberg in the semi, but I almost got to the Europa League as well. I mean, round of 16, I was in that too. I thought, imagine taking this club over and having the Europa League and the DFB-Pokal in one season. I beat you as well on the route to the final. Just so annoying. But never mind. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I mean, we both don't know.
Yeah.
Do you stay? Because you've got to win the Bundesliga still.
Yes.
You didn't have a very good performance there.
I mean, I'm looking at if my team's good enough to win the Champions League, does it just need a little tweak? I know you lot are going to be shouting at me again like you do in this. Don't stay too long. But I'm building such a good side. Am I going to jump ship? Yeah. Am I going to jump ship too early? You know, they've done me 2 trophies now. I've got the Bundesliga one, cup in there. Then I've got the Champions League. I only need Bayern to have one bad season again, and you jump in. I don't know what to do. I mean, it really all depends on what jobs appear again. Yeah. You know, if Barcelona or Real Madrid or PSG appear again, and I apply for it and they offer me, I'm going to take it. Yeah. That's a definite.
£63 million in the bank.
Yeah,
so there is a budget.
They were backing me as well, didn't they?
If you're looking at your squad, I still think you've got a very good team.
Yeah.
I think you would have to get a new striker. I think Guirassy now 32. Yeah. He doesn't have the best natural fitness of 12. Like, attribute-wise, he's great, but there's going to start declining. You can see that really with his star rating going down to a 3-star now, but 21 goals he got you last season. D. Salare with 13 from Maximilian Bayer, who is a very good player and developing well. Adeyemi, a little bit hit and miss.
Do you know, I've always felt the same of him, really. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. And I'm quite tempted to sort of sell him. If I get the 70, 80 million, I could buy one hell of a good winger for that, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, especially if you got that money, because then on top of the £70 million you already had, could bring in 2 very good players there. I'm unsure with this Leipzig team because of how bad they finished, because I'm not in any European football. £23 million as well is basically peanuts. It's either finding a very good system with this team, which I don't think is actually that good. I took it over because of the prospect of being in the Cup when both Bayern and yourself was out.
Yeah.
And, of course, being in the Europa League.
The Europa League was a big one. If you had gone on and won that one, that's just a killer. Yeah. Could have been a killer for me because they're two, especially the Europa League has always been an.
That's the hardest one in Glory Hunter. But yeah, that was the risk. That was the reason why we went for that job, because of those 2 targets, and unfortunately we didn't get either of them. So that was kind of a failed attempt, really. And now I don't know whether to move on, because does that hurt my reputation? Well, if you're looking at the jobs, there's definitely 2 jobs that really interest me. Now, Atletico Madrid, I'm done in Spain. I don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
But Napoli and Monaco. That's 2 that could very much interest me.
Yeah.
Roma as well in 5th place, insecure. They haven't sacked Ronald Koeman, but I might be able to, declare interest and push him out. But the fact that the Napoli job is there. The only downside, don't have Scott McTominay.
Yeah, they're not the same team without him, I can tell you.
Exactly. But what they do have is Lorenzo Luca, fantastic player. Vitor Roque, what a player. Lukaku's still there at age 35. Not a bad player either. Got some big names in there. Kevin De Bruyne is about to retire, but still, very good player. I don't know. James Maddison, go in there. You got the Serie A, the Coppa Italia. They finish in 7th place. That's either Europa League or Europa Conference League, depending on how many qualify for it. It's probably going to be Europa Conference League because it's Italy.
I hope it is.
But hey, that's not a bad shout. And Monaco is kind of a less appealing role. They finish in 7th in the Liga, and normally they're the 2nd or 3rd best team. But Marseille were really close in behind PSG.
They just drew too many, didn't they?
Yeah, they drew way too many games because they only lost 1 more. But yeah, you're looking at that area there. Those 4 teams are very similar to each other. Monaco seems to have just had a bad year there, down in 49 points. In terms of the players that they got, I think it's less appealing. They've got Balogun, who's a decent striker, but I don't think he's anywhere near as good as the players that Napoli have got.
No.
And that's what's appealing to me most. They got some good players, but I think it would definitely be the second choice, even if I was choosing to leave Leipzig, because I still don't know. So let's find out what happens this summer, because I do think at least one of us might be moving.
After my short time at Leipzig, my resignation was handed in and I applied for both Napoli and Monaco. Dad decided to stay after agreeing the deal to sign my favourite striker Samu at Borussia Dortmund, hoping he can bring him goals and a league title. A couple of weeks of waiting and in came the interviews for both Monaco first, followed by Napoli soon after. In the time that they were waiting to hire a new manager, Dad ended up selling Adeyemi to Napoli for 45 million. Annoyingly, that was my preferred job, so I delayed Monaco when they approached first to see if Napoli would eventually come calling. And they did, and we were off to Naples in Italy to become their new manager. And my plans for this team was including a wild 3-striker tactic in possession, utilising their very good wingbacks. As well as, of course, the 6'7" striker Lorenzo Luca, who is a main central goal-scoring threat for my Napoli team. While Dad was hoping to get his side providing the best for Samu up top.
Well, Dad, here I am in Naples.
Yeah, good luck.
What a team to get.
I'm still not looking forward to go to Italy.
I don't mind Italy as much. I think the rules can be quite confusing. I was just really annoyed that they spent that much money on Adeyemi just before I joined.
Thank you very much.
Sneaky son of a...
As soon as they come up offering me, I thought I'll let him go straight away.
What a waste of 45 million.
Thank you very much.
I definitely would not have signed him myself if I got there before they had actually made that deal. But hey, at least they still gave me enough money to do a few transfers of my own. Now, they did actually release quite a few players there. So, I mean, I signed 2 players after that because one of them I needed to replace Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
He retired. So I brought in Simon Profundi, 17 million. I think that's quite a good replacement. He's not amazing, but I wanted to spend the most of my money on Lewis Ferguson, 40 million pound. I think as like sort of the engine room type of player that he brings, very good. Now, tactically, we are going a little bit wild because we've got this 3 up front. We've got the target forward for Lukaku. We've got Ferguson in that DM role being locked in, that box-to-box. And if you pick the best 11 there, it puts Zambo and Gisa in there. Vitor Roque and Lorenzo Luca up there with Profundi in behind. Very good. Advanced wing-backs. They've got Di Lorenzo, bit of a legend now. 20 natural fitness, so hoping he can carry on for another year at age 35 and still be decent. And Gutierrez on the other side is just one of the best players in the team, so don't have to worry about that side whatsoever. But I think defensively, we are probably the weakest at the back here. We got Bukema, who I don't think I've ever seen before, but he doesn't look too bad. And Borgino, who isn't exactly a bad player either, left-footed, 29 years of age. We just don't have like star players there, and the goalkeeper Murray is okay. So I'm hoping we just go full attack, hammer it this year, and we could pick up either the Coppa Italia or the Serie A, because we haven't started too well. A win, loss, and a draw. Atalanta drawing away. That's not a bad result, to be honest.
That's a fair result, yeah.
Losing at home to Palermo's not great.
No, that's definitely not a good result.
No. Cesena FC, that's we should be winning that night every day of the week.
Yeah.
Mark Cucurella also plays here. The most hated player in the game plays for us. But yeah, I mean, the only other thing is we did in fact make it into the Europa League.
Oh, no.
It wasn't the Europa Conference. So, we've got a second bite of the cherry in terms of the Europa League.
So you're playing for 3 trophies now?
Exactly. Chelsea's in there. Eintracht Frankfurt. By no means I would say, is this going to be an easy go at the Europa League?
Forest.
The Rats are in there. Betis.
Yeah, they always do, don't they? Come on.
There's some Villa as well. There's some tricky customers in there, to be honest. Porto too. And you've just pinched Porto's best striker.
I have, yes.
So that makes it a little bit easier for me. Let's have a look then at your squad and see the rest of the players that you brought in.
Did you pick the right one that I bought?
Outside of Samu. There he is.
So I've bought myself a bit of a beast.
Yeah.
This is the guy I need to score the goal to me.
A cracking player.
Yes.
We know he can score.
We all know he can score goals for us. So
16 last season, 2 and 3
goals
already.
And 3 already. So I'm pleased he's hit the ground running.
Yeah. 95 million
pound. A big guy to hit the ground as well.
Malik Fofana. Another good player, to be honest.
Yes.
Leon did very well last year. We've seen him finish second in the league. He is a very tricky winger.
That's the winger I've
instead of Adeyemi.
The one that sold to you. Yeah.
So to me, like I actually bought him.
He's a good winger, so hopefully he's going to be supplying the ball out there. Really, he'll be crossing the balls in. I'm going to keep him out wide and all that. So yeah.
If I had Fofana instead of Adeyemi, I might have play wingers.
Yeah.
I feel like I just do wingers just out of principle because I don't want to play out of yummy. But there we go. Yeah, he's joined the club as well, so not a bad little sign in that. Now, tactically, a little bit of tweaking.
Yes.
Samu going up front, being locked up front because for some reason it still was putting Garassi up there, which makes zero sense.
I couldn't get rid of him. I wanted to try and get rid of him for the money that they were offering.
Yeah.
You know, but no one came in for him. No one interested in 2.
Even though he is wanted by Rennes and Lille.
You go on there and try and sell him, and all of a sudden no one wants him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Defence, still a really good defence, I feel. So, I'm still our team to beat. That's what I'm trying to hope for, really. In the league, you got to be making sure that when you're scoring goals. So, in possession, it's full out attack. Get the wingers going down the wings, getting the ball over to Sammy, and hopefully he can bang the ball in the back of net for me.
Right, well, start of the season, if we're looking at that, it's been very good.
That's what he started doing, isn't it?
3 wins from 3.
Yep.
And in the cup.
Great start. So I'm really pleased with it now. Hopefully this will be the way.
Yeah.
You can afford to lose 2 or 3 games in this league. That's it.
Well, that's it. Bayern Munich are also 3 from 3, as is Stuttgart, the team that finished above you last year.
Yeah, I was hoping one of them would sort of lose a game, so give me a little bit of leeway to start off with. But no, we've all started with a clean sheet, so off we go. See how it
Okay,
goes.
well, lots of trophies up for grabs. Dad's going for one. He's still trying to lock off that Bundesliga trophy. I've still got to go back to Germany, of course, at some point. But how am I going to do in season number 1 of being the Napoli manager? 3 trophies to go for: the Europa League, the Coppa Italia, and the Serie A. Let's see if I can pick any of them up.
With 3 competitions to play for in Italy, with the Europa League included, I was hoping for a good start at Napoli. And although our start wasn't exactly perfect, a win in our game in hand and we go into the new year in a title race. Dad was not having a great time in Germany, however, as a match against Bayern Munich showcased how far behind them he actually still is, losing 5-0 in the Bundesliga. Sitting him down in 5th place in the league, all but over, as well as Bayern Munich are still unbeaten. Back in Italy, and we also found ourselves in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia, with our star man this season, Profondi, scoring 2 goals in the first leg against Lazio to hopefully put us in the final. And we were still knocking on the door of the Serie A title, 2 points behind, but Atalanta had a game extra to play. We got through our second leg against Lazio after the 4-0 first win with a draw, meaning we head to the Coppa Italia final, where we will face Roma. In Germany, although the Bundesliga was over, Dad had another great run in the Champions League, and he reached the semi-final against Real Madrid, where they drew 2-2 in the first leg. Meanwhile, I now had the game advantage in the Serie A, but was 7 points still behind Atalanta. It was bad news for us in the Europa League, however, as we were knocked out by Lille across 2 legs in the semi-final, 2-1 on aggregate. Dad also managed to overcome Real Madrid in extra time from a penalty, meaning he now goes on to face Arsenal in another Champions League final. When it was time for the Coppa Italia final, however, things didn't quite go our way, as Roma defeated us 5-0 in the Coppa Italia final to lift the trophy right in front of us. What did work in our favour though was in the league we stood an outside chance of winning it on the final day when we won 7-0 to Udinese and Atalanta drew 3-3. We would need to beat Torino to do so, and Atalanta would have to lose to Bologna, and we did our job winning 4-1. And somehow the Serie A gods were looking down on us because Bologna went and done the unthinkable, defeating Atalanta for us 3-2. Crowning my Napoli side champions of Italy once again by a single point. After a terrible league campaign finishing in 4th for Dad, he looked to try and win back-to-back Champions Leagues. But despite Dad's Dortmund pulling things back after going 1-0 down through Samu, the game was turned back in Arsenal's favour as Carlos Baleba scored 2 second-half goals to win 3-1.
Well, disappointing for both of us in finals. I mean, you weren't going for the Champions League final.
No,
it would just been a nice thing to win.
I just can't believe I've got to the Champions League final again. So it's 2 seasons in a row. I've got a good team.
Yeah.
But you look at my league position and you would think I've got an awful team.
Yeah. What's hilarious is we both had disappointment at the Olimpico.
Yeah.
His mine was obviously the Coppa Italia. Yours was the Champions League, which was also played at the Olimpico. But yeah, the league, you're miles off.
I
Nowhere near
lost
'em.
10 games. I mean, Bayern Munich lost 1 game.
Yeah.
And I said that, you've got to be relying on them losing at least 4, I think,
Yeah.
to be in with a chance. They lost 1. I was never going to.
And he ain't going to lose his job anytime soon
No,
with
he
results like
isn't,
that.
no.
If he ain't going to lose a job when he came 4th in that first season.
Yeah, it's I'm very downhearted now with this season. I've just thought I had such a better team, and it's got me to a Champions League final again, 2 seasons in a row. just don't know now. You're all screaming at me. Leave.
It's Roma all over again for long-term viewers who watched Glory Hunter last year.
Oh, I don't know.
When Dad stayed at Roma for so long. But I'm building a good team. Well, I'm going, I'm lifting trophies. Speaking of which, we have done it on the final day of the season in Italy, defeating Atalanta to the title.
Last game of the season, and you gifted Napoli
chucked
the
it
title.
away. Absolutely chucked it away. Losing to Bologna 3-2 on the final day. You can see they were 3-1 down, so it wasn't like a late one or anything like that, but they proper chucked it away because they were in the driving seat. We had to beat Torino, and we had to have Atalanta lose. Because even if they draw, it would have gone to a playoff.
Oh, yeah,
because it's
do a
Serie
playoff.
A.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not goal difference, it's
Yeah.
a playoff. So we would have to have played extra fixtures.
Obviously been good enough to get that playoff still. So.
Yeah. But we've got one down. Get in.
Believe that you've done that again.
It's so close to doing the treble again. I mean, the Coppa Italia, Roma at the Olimpico, that's unfair. 5-0. Unbelievable. Great result from them. They absolutely knobbed us.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Crazy result. And in the Europa League, beaten by the eventual winners, Lille, which did not see coming at all.
I mean, Porto got to the final as well, so they
beat Villa.
They were all right losing their main striker, wouldn't they? They've done all right.
It was a 1-1 in the first leg, 1-0 in the second leg. Couldn't score in the second leg. Very disappointing because I would have fancied my chances against Porto.
Yeah.
That would even if I got that one, I would have been like, stay a little bit longer, win the cup. I am comfy. I'm all good. Now we're not in the Europa League. Obviously, we're in we're only going to go for the Coppa Italia next season, and that's, I think, my worst thing is chasing cups.
Yeah.
When I've already won the league.
It is. You seem to struggle on all the cups, don't you? And I sort of like, the cups seems to come easy for me. It's the leagues for me, don't it?
Yeah.
I sort of like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. What's available?
Well, that's it. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss what's going to happen next in the Glory Hunter. Let's take a look before we add the trophies at the jobs available, because there are some big ones. Not Spurs. No, Spurs is there. 7th place Spurs, which means Europa League football too. At the minute it says Europa Conference, but we know full well England tends to have 5 in the Champions League, which means they'll have 2 in Europa League and 1 in Europa Conference. So Spurs will probably be in the Europa League.
Any other Premier League side, I'd have probably thought, nah. Oh, God. And they're in Europa League as well.
Marseille's another one because they finished in second place.
Yeah, again. They
Yeah.
finished second in the last season as well, didn't they? So that's like, I mean, PSG, what do they leave? They lost 3 games this season.
9 points in between.
They always have one bad season. It's catching that one bad season.
Yeah.
And Marseille are on their tail.
Got Cherky back. Back in France.
It's tempting as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You the Premier League is 5 or 6 teams that can win that Premier League. With this league, you're just trying to beat one team.
Yeah.
Just
We always say,
trying to beat
didn't
one
it?
team.
It's easier to win the Champions League
yeah.
than it is to win Liga if you're not PSG.
Yeah.
Because they're just that good. But Spurs, let's have a look at the team that they've got. Rodrigo is their top player. Rodrigo.
He is a striker that I do like.
In his prime.
Oh, no.
In his prime.
No.
I might just have to. And Hendrick. They have both.
He is the other striker that I do enjoy buying that striker, don't I?
I might have to apply just to stop you from getting them.
Xavi Simons he's
still there.
13
Kolo
goals,
Muani,
15 assists as well. I mean,
Kulusevski's still there. Brennan Johnson, Mikey Moore even. He's done all right. Sar's still there. They've still got a great team.
Sar's out of a midfield on the game as well, isn't he? So
Luca Williams-Barnett's coming into the team as well. They got some good players.
So
still got Romero.
Their front 3 are really good.
Yeah.
So, their defence is not bad. How old are they? 31. Romero.
Kudus is on the transfer list.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know now.
Lots of things to think about. What would you do?
Reckon?
Would you
reckon?
if your dad, would you be leaving Germany right now? He's in 4 years at Dortmund. 4 years. Don't know. Let us know down in the comments, but we've got some trophies to add to our trophy cabinet.
Dad's triumph in Season 3 means he does add a second trophy with the Champions League, but will he stay at Borussia Dortmund? Whereas my trophy cabinet does look a lot fuller with 5 trophies won now. It could have been a lot worse if I managed to complete the Coppa Italia this season too. After my adventure in Barcelona, I took a quick pit stop back at Leipzig, where unfortunately we couldn't get the DFB-Pokal despite reaching the final. However, Dad finally picked up the big one by winning the Champions League. Still no league title for him though, as his time at Dortmund ticks on 4 years now and only 2 trophies have been won. However, my time at Leipzig was short and sweet, and we were off to Naples to take on this Napoli side. Winning the league in the first time of asking, which adds another trophy, but annoyingly losing in the Coppa Italia final against Roma. Ending my 4th season with 5 trophies won and looking forward to another season with Napoli. Dad, on the other hand, is already exploring his move, applying for both the Marseille job in France and the Spurs job in the Premier League. I was building a team here at Napoli and was gutted to miss out on bringing in Victor Osimhen back to the club, as he chose to go to Atletico Madrid over us. In very quick succession, Dad was invited to attend both Marseille and Spurs interviews in regards to becoming their new manager. He heard back from Marseille first, but delayed them and waited until Spurs eventually approached him to take on the job, for which he was delighted. I was just as pleased soon after when I got to finally sell Adeyemi back to the Bundesliga and got good money for him too. Dad was at his dream job though and excited to get things underway at Spurs as their new manager.
Well, Dad, you got the dream move.
Yes.
To Spurs.
Finally, Spurs have got a top manager.
Wow. Some might say that's not the case.
We'll see.
Anyway, you spent quite a lot of money, though, because they are doing quite well.
They did offer me quite a bit of money, and I was a bit disappointed with a couple of players. I sort of looked at the team and I thought, oh, they've still got the goalkeeper, and everybody knows I don't like our goalkeeper. So, obviously, what was going to happen there then, wasn't it? So, yep, there's a few players that was gone.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed.
You also sold 157 million.
Yes.
Bit of a clear out when you got here. Vicario was one of them, £23 million. Huescas going to Euro Club Dortmund.
Yeah.
Romero, in fact. I was surprised by that one.
Do you know, I am enamored about this one, but they were playing him left centre back. I never had a proper left centre back. The boy that they were playing right centre back, I just felt was better for the team now. He was a bit younger. And he was a lot younger than I think he was 23, something like that. So, and he gave me a lot of money. Someone came in for him and just offered me a lot of money for him.
All right.
So,
well, you put in Scalvini, who I would say is a worse player for 3 times the price.
I didn't bring him in for that position though.
But right side centre back.
I've already got a right side centre back.
He's
the reserve one because I only had 1 or 2. Right. So I got to get in the sort of, if I get any injuries, he's the one who comes in if I get any injuries.
Could you not keep Romero as the reserve one?
I got good money from him. I just seen the money there, and I'm like the pound signs take over.
Yeah, that's the trouble. I think sometimes of you. William Pacho though is a good sign. That's the guy that got in
to bring the left hand side.
Yeah, he's decent. Sammy Lamons was a loan to buy, so that wasn't you doing that.
I was surprised he was there because obviously we all know that he's at Man United now.
But you brought in Dennis Seaman.
Yes, I did. This is the keeper I wanted to bring in. I had a good price for our goalkeeper,
Vicario. Yeah,
and I just thought, right, I'm going to get this guy in. So yep.
But Anthony Elanga was already a done deal before you joined.
Yeah,
he was already joining the club because that's a lot of money as well for Anthony Elanga.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And Savona was your final signing, £38 million for a right wing back.
Yeah, he was same again. I've got a really good one there, and he might get into the first team, he might not, but I just needed a reserve one just in case.
All right, well, you're going for a 4-2-3-1. The team does have some remnants still of like the team that you know right now.
I'm in the front.
Yeah, I mean, Endrick and Rodrigo coming into the lineup is mental.
I mean, I couldn't believe my luck having that front. I knew I didn't have to do nothing with the front four type thing.
Yeah, very good. Sar's in there and Angelo Stiller too. So Angelo Stiller is a very good defensive midfielder on the game. Yep. Still only 28. But Udogi on the left, Pacho and Vuskovic is
the guy
there.
Who's going to be right sided. So that's why I sold.
The youngster that is already obviously at the club and coming through. So yeah, very good team to be honest. I would say you're probably one of the best teams in the league. Really.
I'm hoping so.
And you started the season with a draw to Chelsea as your only bad result, but we thought you might go into the Europa League.
I was just so
annoyingly,
disappointed
it's
with this.
not the case for you anyway.
I felt even if I've got to be the favourites to win the conference one. I'd have thought I'd have been one of the favourites to win the Europa League as well.
I agree.
So I was just disappointed I didn't go into that, but hey, I'm after 2 trophies at the moment. One's the league, one's the FA Cup. So
yeah, season preview does put you in 4th place as the 4th best team in the league there. Let's have a look then at my Napoli side over in Italy, because if we're taking a look at the signings that I made and the players I sold, I finally got rid of Adeyemi, sold into my former club, Eintracht Frankfurt. So also got £8 million for Palmer as well. The players that we did bring in, the first one was Michael Coyote from Brentford. £43 million. I know you looked at him as well.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But I managed to pick him up before he made a terrible decision going to Spurs. So I brought in Coyote back to Italian League. But I've also signed 2 players who are already here too. Mario Gila as a good centre-back option, 29 years of age. Very good, I think, with good physical attributes. Not amazing mentals, but decent enough for what we're trying to accomplish. And Dusan Vlahovic from Juve, £45 million. That left side of the striker, somebody was playing in defensive midfield. Don't know who, but you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But we are sticking with our 3 striker formation, which drops into the 3 across, and we're locking in Lewis Ferguson into that role. Of course, I'm only going for the Coppa Italia after a very good Serie A win last year, so not worried too much about this early stage of the season. And we've only played 1 game and won it. I mean, we did have a 5-5 draw against Inter Milan, if that's anything to go by. But yeah, nice little 2-1 against Sassuolo. So let's get this season underway. Of course, I'm in the Champions League as well. Don't have to worry about that. It's solely down to the Coppa Italia.
Dad's start as Spurs manager was off to a flyer as his Brazilian duo of Endrick and Rodrigo were on form and scoring goals. And his Spurs side sat top of the league with only losing 1 game at the turn of the new year. Things were also going just as well for me in Italy as my Napoli side also sat top of the Serie A and unbeaten. But it was the Coppa Italia that we were focused on most, of course, and we came up against Inter Milan in the semi-final and beat them 3-1 in the first leg. For Dad, though, a terrible performance in the early rounds against Sheffield Wednesday, knocking him out of the FA Cup. He was now solely focused on the Premier League, and despite losing 2 recent games, was still top of the table by 3 points ahead of Manchester City. The second leg against Inter Milan, played at their place, was also a comfortable victory as we win 2-1 on the night and 5-2 on aggregate to go to the final. And it was another Coppa Italia final, this time against Juventus. Dad had opened up an 8-point gap over Manchester City in the league, but also found himself in the Europa Conference League final, which of course is not part of Glory Hunter, but it's still a trophy. And his Spurs side faced a very good AZ Alkmaar in the final, but beat them 2-1. However, it was his dominant performances in the league with which he had the most pleasure with, as his Spurs side continued a rampaging run towards the title. And at the first time of asking, he lifts the Premier League trophy to add to his Glory Hunter cabinet, 10 points ahead of Manchester City in second. A big trophy to claim as he puts the pressure on and I head into my cup final. My 3 striker formation had gotten me this far, but Juventus have had a decent season, finishing in 3rd place, so this wasn't going to be easy. The game stayed goalless up until close to half time, where a sharp pass out to the left found Gutierrez. After a nice little few passes in and around the box, Ferguson finally found the ball at his feet to open the scoring. However, just 10 minutes after half-time and Juventus was equalising through Patrick Dorgu, and the game went back to being cagey, leading all the way to extra time as it stayed 1-1. But it stayed level, meaning a penalty shootout would be the decider, and up stepped Esposito, who first missed. Lukaku's chance to put us ahead, but he then missed too. Diomande scored for Juventus to get things underway for them, and Vitor Roque, who has been so reliable this season, stepped up, but he missed another. From there, Juventus took advantage of their lead in the shootout and went on to win 4-2 on penalties. And unfortunately, it's heartbreak again for us in the cup final as we watch Juventus lift the Coppa Italia, knowing we have failed to contribute any trophies this season to our Glory Hunter cabinet.
Well, it's had a great season for you. Premier League winners coming in at 10 points as well.
Yeah.
Not just winning it, absolutely dominating it.
Stuffed everybody. Yep, that's what I wanted. Got it in the bag. Disappointed with the other one that I'd missed out on, though.
The FA Cup, yeah, of course. You scored the most goals, which was great. You can see you really dominated the most attacking style of play in the league. It was very, very good indeed. You also, of course, picked up the Europa Conference League.
Yeah.
Very annoying considering you thought you was in the Europa League to actually go on and win this one, which is kind of funny, but still. It's the FA Cup you're most disappointed with. And speaking of cup disappointments, I'm also there with you. I feel you. But you didn't get very far in it either.
No, I didn't.
If we're looking back. I mean, quarter-final not getting there. It was the fifth
Sheffield
round
Wednesday.
from a championship club 2-1.
So disappointed. I think it's one of those things again. Your assistant manager sort of like rests a few players, and just sort of give them game time as well. The ones that's on the suspension, you just sometimes you get caught out.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you've got £35 million to spend this summer.
Yeah.
If we're looking at the performance of the team that you've got already, Endrick was very good, 30 goals this season. Brandon Johnson was surprisingly good as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Considering he wasn't in that front four you mentioned. Xavi Simons did very well. Dejan Kulusevski also did well. And Rodrigo as well. He's picked up a bit of a knock there, but he'll be all right for the start of the season. When you look
at the front four that I was playing, without Brendan Johnson, they all virtually played. So the games that they didn't play in, through injuries or whatever, Brendan Johnson must have dropped into like all of their roles because he can play all of them.
Yeah.
And for that, I mean, he's started 31 games and scored 23 goals. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That just
Mikey Moore also played quite a lot.
Yeah.
21
starts. Yeah. So
didn't do as well.
It goes to show that I still haven't got to do nothing with that front four for it, really. I haven't got to touch it, really.
No, that's it. Right. Over to Italy then. The disappointment again. Second year in a row. The Coppa Italia final. This time, it was a penalty shootout as well. And it looked quite great because they missed the first penalty. But then I missed my first two.
One of my favourite strikers missed the first penalty.
I know.
As well,
and Vitor Roque was the other one. Two guys you really rely on missed the two penalties. So we didn't even get to take our fifth, which is rather annoying, especially because in the game we were quite competitive. We had 28 shots to their 13, 14 on target. Sanchez, their goalkeeper, played very well with an 8.2, and Lewis Ferguson an 8.39 in the game. Couldn't get over the line though. Also didn't win the league. So it was a very disappointing season overall for our Napoli side. Didn't quite get there. PSG knocked out the Champions League.
Quarterfinals good. Yeah.
Quarterfinals, it's fine. The recruitment side of it, we got 13 million. The money is not amazing here anymore. So financially, if we're looking at it, we are 87 million pound in debt. And, of course, with that, we've got quite a lot of wages. We've got a big squad, to be honest. I'm hoping we can maybe get rid of a couple of these players. I just don't want to get rid of any of our first teamers. Lorenzo Luca was top scorer with 27. Vlahovic with 20. Romelu Lukaku 18, Vitor Roque 16 and 17. It's good numbers.
Yes.
Just not amazing. Coyote, of course, which was one of the main signings that we had out of our three that we made this summer. 24 assists.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant from him. Yeah. Both fullbacks did very well. Gutierrez also got 17. So, yeah, if I'm looking at this, I think this tactic is good enough to get us to cup finals. It's done it twice in a row. Just need the luck when we get there.
Yep, that's what it's about, really.
Yeah,
You're getting
that's what we need to look out for.
That's what I'm worried about, really.
Right, so where am I going to fix this squad in terms of helping me in the cup final? And what's Dad going to spend his money on? Let's find out. So a season of disappointment for me means I've got to go and find new talented players to hopefully get me over the line in Season 6. But my trophy cabinet is still looking really healthy thanks to that one season at Barcelona for now. And finding gems such as Armando Ramirez is certainly going to help me trying to win the Coppa Italia next year. Dad was also spending big this summer and brought in striker Franklinho, who ended up scoring on his debut in the Community Shield. Despite winning the league in his first season in the Prem, he was still tweaking his tactic around for next season. And it was hard to argue with him because his Spurs side had started the season rather well. Well, a cracking start to the season. You're scoring a lot of goals again. Obviously, you're not worried about the Premier League, but it's a good sign that you're doing very, very well to begin with. The goals are coming in, even a 4-4 against Man City, who's got Erling Haaland scoring goals.
I'm chuffed to bits with the start. It just means that I'm really attacking. But when you look at my tactics, you'll understand why I'm scoring that amount of goals. So,
Before we do that, though, let's look at the players that have come in and out. So Kudus is gone. He was a loan to sell.
Yeah, I was hoping to get him back, but just didn't have the chance.
Muani went for £25 million and 15 for Kevin Danso. So two sort of fringe players leaving the club. Players coming in though, Franklinho, very popular player in FM26, 51 million.
I mean, I just had a bit of money spare left over at the end when I was sort of thinking, who should I buy? Last bit sort of really sort of strikerish. This guy popped up and I thought, well, you can't ask for a better striker to be beyond the ones I'm behind. I've already got in the team.
He's very good. But the main crux of your budget, 90 million.
This is the one place I thought I could have been a little bit weak, so I've just bought this guy in for that sort of fill that position really.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at his value now; he's 200 million. So That ain't a bad sort of swap, is it, really?
El Halali. Yeah.
Yeah.
You treat that as if that's what somebody's going to give you.
I know that, but I just think to myself, well, that's a big jump from what I paid for them, though, isn't it, really? So
Yeah,
even
I've
if I
never
get
seen somebody
150,
bid 200
you're never going to get
in this
anybody
game.
give 100 any more than 130, really, are you?
Yeah. So yeah, two
And
signings, two main signings
He
coming
plays
in.
right across the back free as well, so
Yeah.
that's another reason why I brought him in.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're looking at the best 11, you change your tactic, as you
Yes.
can see here, to more of a narrow on the inside there, with very similar to what I was running at Frankfurt in that first season, which
Yeah.
helped me obviously win the Bundesliga. You got two deep line playmakers in there next to each other. That's interesting. Two wing backs.
I got the
two
wing
box
backs
to box.
bombing down the wing, so I just wanted the deep line sort of defending midfielders just to stay there. That was what I've done it for more than anything, and they're still going to be supplying the balls forward for the dangerous four, as I'm going to call them,
Yeah.
because they're just 4 strikers now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. 4 strikers, score as many goals as you possibly can. I'm not particularly worried about the league now. I've got that in the bag. It's the FA Cup. I just need that FA Cup.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as we've seen, started off very
Really
well
good,
indeed. Speaking of cups, that's also what I'm pursuing here in what is my 3rd season at Napoli. And in terms of transfers, got a couple of freebies coming in Beijing Ho, who is quite good on the fullbacks or wing backs, which of course I'm using, but also in that centre attacking midfield. To be honest, I picked him up because he covers so many different positions. On a free transfer, can't go wrong. As risk, because he's a non-EU, we know that could have always gone south, especially because I signed another one. But both of them have been able to play, which is great. Armando Ramirez is a centre midfielder who I'm trying to play defensive midfield. He looks absolutely mental. Looks very good. Great mental attributes, great physical attributes. 4-star with a 5-star current. He's only a 20-year-old Mexican player. His actual weaknesses is his passing, really.
Yeah.
In that centre mid. So yeah, we're going to work on that. His vision's very good, though. The work rates, team works, they're all fantastic. So we spent quite a lot of money on him, £11 million there. Mark Guehi, we never quite know how to say his name.
Yeah.
But we got him from Chelsea for a free transfer. So there's another good striker option because, of course, we're playing 3. And the final player, £12 million that we brought in, Eric da Silva Moreira. So bringing him in, I think, is giving us lots of options down that right-hand side. As you can see, he's like a 4-star wide forward if we wanted to. I thought he's just more of a right back, to be honest. But a very good option, to say the least. Now, we are locking Ramirez in. We're no longer locking Lewis Ferguson in there. We're still playing this. It's got us to 2 cup finals. It's also won the league once. So I'm hoping it will just keep on doing the same thing. Keep getting us to those cup finals, and with a bit of luck, we can win that, move on with our lives. We lost, unfortunately, to AC Milan at the start of the season, but hey, it's a 2-1 loss to AC Milan. It's not the end of the world. We beat Udinese 3-0, so to me, we're still going as good as what we could go. We got Barcelona, our road side, of course, up in the Champions League. We're not worried about the Champions League. All about the cups for both of us this season.
Yeah.
As the season kicked off, we of course were both waiting for the cup fixtures to begin in the second half of the season. However, one earlier match that we both really were keen to win was the Champions League phase match, where we clashed for the first time in a few seasons. And in London, although I took the lead, it was Dad's Spurs who found themselves on the winning side this time round, defeating me 4-2. I was, however, currently top of the league going into the new year, while Dad had just been knocked off a top spot, losing match number 19 of the Premier League season. It wasn't the only time we faced Spurs either, as that season we also clashed in the round of 16 of the Champions League, and once again Dad got the better of my Napoli side, knocking me out 5-4 on aggregate. Thankfully for me, we managed to get ourselves in the Coppa Italia semi-final where Bologna was our opponents, and in the first leg we got a fantastic 3-1 win to take it to their ground for the second leg. For Dad, a quarter-final FA Cup tie against Brighton was taken into extra time in the 92nd minute thanks to new striker Franquinho's equaliser, keeping Spurs in the competition for now. Unfortunately, Brighton's Nico Paz then scored the winner in said extra time in the 103rd minute, and Dad was out. He was very much on to win the Premier League at this point though, so his job was secure. My second leg with Bologna was another fantastic performance from my Napoli side, and we replicated the first leg score to take us to the final, beating them 3-1. In the Serie A, we finished second to a very good Inter Milan side, and that's exactly who we've got to face in the Coppa Italia final. So what could be our final match in Italy? If we win, we will have to defeat the best team in the league to achieve another trophy for our Glory Hunter cabinet. But in a thrilling back and forth game with Inter Milan taking an early lead, we then pulled it back to jump in front, scoring 2 goals within 2 minutes by Vitor Roque just before half-time to take the advantage into the break. But this is where we met our downfall, as the second half we were completely a different team, and Inter Milan played us off the park and they scored 3 goals to go 4-2 up into the lead, only allowing us a third as a consolation. And with what feels like a familiar feeling, we then watch Inter Milan lift the one trophy that's keeping us in Italy for now.
Yet again, for the 3rd season in a row, Coppa Italia finalists.
Oh, thank you.
For long-term viewers of the channel, usually it's the FA Cup that gives me this much trouble.
It does, yeah.
So the fact that we are struggling with this cup too, and we still haven't won the German Cup, of course, it's starting to get me a little bit worried. Although we're still ahead in terms of trophies, we are just wasting too much time on certain ones at Napoli, unfortunately, and some of my players are getting quite old.
I think the worst thing is as well, you're getting to the finals, isn't it? What's that, the 3rd season in a row?
3rd season in a row,
and you've lost all
got
3
to the final and lost every single time. So if we look at the past winners, runners-up 3 years in a row, it's just so annoying. So annoying.
3 different teams as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to put that behind me. I need to think about what I'm going to do this season, because there's not a lot of money in the budget. However, looking at the jobs, there's none that really attract me right now. There's an insecurity at Man City, which would be tempting. Bayern Munich, of course, straight away would be another one. But they're not exactly there to take.
No.
So, yeah, that's sort of like, only ifs and buts, really. And because I've got so close, am I being silly moving? That's the decision.
Wonder who
I
said
make.
that before.
Yeah. I'm now making the same mistakes as what you do. 2 lots of 24s from Luka and Vitor Roque. Vlahovic has had a great season, 19 and 14. 20 assists from Gutierrez, 10 from Coyote. But Eric, who come in and played way less games, just played quite a lot off the bench, 22 assists. So my fullbacks are doing great. Armando, who we locked in that defensive midfield role, can now play it naturally, and he is one of my better players, which is great. I think if I do stay here, we build a team around him in that midfield. But I am starting to think that I might need to change this formation. It's not getting me success. It's not getting me over the line. Plus, we didn't even win the league again. That's 2 seasons in a row, and we were nowhere near Inter Milan this year. We've kind of let everybody catch up with us. They've done the domestic double there, so we could be in a bit of spot of bother there. Dad, you clearly have got something going on here at Spurs, because it's another Premier League win, back-to-back there.
Got to be pleased with that as well, haven't I?
Yeah,
so
6 points
clear as well. That's not bad. I'm happy with that.
Not bad at all. Not great in the FA Cup, though. It was a quarter-final exit by Brighton. Extra time finish as well, so it's a disappointing
when you look
result.
At it's Man City are there, but there's no one there I would have feared really getting into the final with.
Yeah, that might have just saved Pep Guardiola's job too.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Because where did they finish in the Premier League? They are down in third place.
Yeah,
3rd place with an FA Cup. He's probably all right.
Yeah.
I'm
13
fine.
points clear of them, and Chelsea was behind City.
Yeah,
and they were the 2 big teams that was left in the cup, really. So
yeah,
I wouldn't have feared anybody. But Brighton done me.
It's only really looking like the Bayern Munich job could become available. Also, look who won the league.
Look at Dortmund. But I need the league with Dortmund.
That's it. Yeah, you need the league.
I won the cup with them, didn't I? Oh, that's just typical, that, isn't it?
Jassel is gone.
But then I left them
it.
2 seasons ago, so I can't look back at that and say I wish I stayed. No, if Bayern Munich comes up, I could be so tempted though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just all right. The FA Cup's there, but you can just come back with another team and have a go. But I'm the same as you. I've just built such a good team, and I've won the league 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, you've got a great team. I think you'd be silly to move.
I think I just
FA Cup.
I know what I want to do with the team. I know what else I want to do. I just sort of, it's whether I've got the money to do it.
Well, you got 115, so you definitely got the money to do it. You got a lot of it.
I'm staying.
Yeah,
I'm staying, mate.
Got a lot of it.
I know what I want to do.
Look at the goals that are being scored as well.
And that's what I'm not affecting. I'm not touching that. They're just so
still good for at least 3 or 4 years as well. The ages of all your top players are still really young.
Yeah.
Spurs have a great young side.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Great young side to start things off. So
there's a lot of players down the bottom there that are not playing that I can sort of like clear it, make a little bit of more money, and then buy, I reckon, 3 top players.
Yeah.
That would change this side completely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, you've got £150 million plus whatever you sell.
Yeah.
We've got no trophies to add to our trophy cabinet, other than, of course, Dad's winning the Premier League, but that has already been done.
Yeah.
So it's on to next season. Make sure you stick around and subscribe, because one of us is going to win a cup soon. I can feel it. I've got there 3 times in a row and lost on 3 occasions, though. But for the 3rd season in a row, I have just lost a Coppa Italia final with Napoli after winning the league in season 1 with them. Meaning my current Glory Hunter cabinet going into season number 7 has stayed the same for a while now. Dad, however, recently moved to Spurs and won the Premier League in his 1st season. 2 seasons in North London gone though, and he still hasn't won the FA Cup yet. So this summer was all about bringing in some new talented players, and I know for a fact that my new Brazilian winger instantly improves my Napoli side. Dad's 3rd season starts with him spending over £400 million on his defence and goalkeeper for Spurs to try and improve things for his upcoming season as we look to win our domestic cups. Dad, £400 million spent
Yep.
this summer.
Yeah. I sold quite a few players with big money.
Only 150?
It was a big clear out, and I'm just trying to get rid of players that I'm not actually using that much. I mean, Archie Gray, I think he'll become a legend at Spurs. I mean, he is that good. I'm not using him though, so unfortunately he's gone. The goalkeeper didn't want to stay, the reserve keeper, so I had to get rid of him as well.
You brought him one in. No Atabulo.
Yeah, so I mean, he's not going to go into my first team, but he's a good reserve keeper, I think.
All right, so Hugo Larsson, £63 million was spent on him.
Yeah.
Obviously one of my former players at Frankfurt, but one of your former players, Connor Bradley, also joined.
I mean, this guy
million.
probably will go into the first team. I don't think Larsson won't, but I just needed him for if I get any injuries. Connor Bradley, I could do with a better right-sided defender. And I know from my past experience at Borussia Dortmund, he will do that for me.
And then Carreras on the left-hand side.
Yeah, just like
looks a great player too.
He's a great player. I mean, he's going to be pushing for first team place, but whether he gets it, I don't know. But
the final one, Lenny Yoro.
Yes, I've just won. So what I've done really is I've made my defence really, really strong. The first team I think are really strong, but the second, what I would class as second team, then are even stronger as well. So
yeah.
If I get any injuries, I ain't going to worry about any players coming in. I mean, the top 4, you're not going to change that. I think it'd be very hard to get someone to come in and be better than what's up there. So, like I said, there, Connor Bradley's the only one who's probably gone in, and there he is. He's in.
All that money on Lenny Yoro, and he's on the bench still. Yeah, that's crazy.
But then I'm looking at it and thinking, if he rests players for the cup games and things like that, I've got to have better players or as good players coming in, should I say?
Yeah.
And that's what happens in cup games. You rest players, and I'm losing the cup games. That's what I'm after at the moment. The leagues, I've got the leagues in the bag, mate. I've won them 2 in a row already.
Here he goes, getting cocky now. We'll see if that continues, because you have
got it when you're being Spurs and you're
just
winning the
drawn 1-1 with Burnley.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So let's not get too cocky. All right, you've beaten Everton 4-0. You've beaten Brentford 3-0. Villa 3-1 away from home. You lost to City in the Community Shield.
Yeah.
But a draw to Burnley straight away. But as we know, not really worried about the Premier League. It is all about that FA Cup. So can you win the FA Cup this
Lenny
season?
Laurel's in the team there, look, for the draw game against Burnley.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't play that well.
Well, yeah, that's probably why he's not in it now. Anyway, I only had one signing coming through the door. I think it was a good one. Obviously, I didn't really have that much money. There was a few players who did leave. Antonio Blanco was one of them. But Alberto from Flamengo, £15 million comes in. left winger. Now, of course, we've been playing quite a narrow formation with 3 strikers across that front 3. So buying a winger who can play up front, granted, is obviously something new. And that is because we have gone to a 4-2-3-1. We've got the players to do it. Vitor Roque drops to the right quite naturally anyway. Very good player. Can play from the right-hand side. Alberto on that left as a 4.5-star type of player. Vlahovic, Lorenzo Luca. We've got quite a few players who can play up front. Vlahovic takes a position right now, but probably if I do best 11, it might change. We got Ferguson, Ramirez. I think one of my midfielders is the weakest position, but we don't have any money. Like the guy we picked up from Alberto cost us what, 15 million? Not even that. Yeah, 15 million pound. So mega cheap money to bring him in from Brazil just on a release clause. We don't have any money to bring anybody else in, unfortunately. We can see here we've only got 4 million pound there. Okay, a bit of a wage, but again, that's only going to get us 10 million. You're not going to get a first team centre midfielder for 10 million pound for Napoli. So we're looking at the start of the season. We have won 1 and lost 1, unfortunately. We only played 2 games in the league. We lost to Lazio 1-0, but we did have a player sent off after 10 minutes, which is unfortunate. We did go to Atalanta, go to Bergamo, and beat them 4-3 with a last-minute goal with Armando Ramirez, the guy that we signed from Mexico a couple of seasons ago. Very good player indeed, who now plays defensive midfield. He got the winner there. So both of us are looking for the cups. That's the only thing we need to pursue in each of our countries now. Let's see if we can do it in season number 7.
The first half of the season was just a formality for Dad, but in Italy, we still needed to qualify for the 3rd round of the Coppa Italia, which we did emphatically 7-0. But in the league, we were 3rd and already 7 points behind Inter Milan, while Dad was in a title race with Liverpool again. Of course, this is where Dad's season really begins though, as it's the FA Cup, and Dad eventually got himself into the quarter-finals after a 5-4 win against Charlton. While I find myself in the 2-legged semi-final of the Coppa Italia against Atalanta, where in the first leg, which we played at home, it didn't go as well as I had planned, and we took the lead after they come back to equalise and the game stayed 1-1. I'd also just lost a 6-pointer and the top spot to Inter Milan by losing to them going into the final 2 months of the season. While Dad was also battling Liverpool and losing his top spot at the same time. This season's biggest fear had come true for me though, as Atalanta smashed us 3-0 in the second leg of the Coppa Italia semi-final, and it's another season that it eludes me. Unfortunately for Dad, his Spurs side didn't even get to the semi-final as they were beaten by West Ham. Dad was unfortunate in the league too, as a final day clash with Liverpool at Anfield meant the winner takes the title, but a draw meant that Liverpool finished first, and after Dad went 2-0 up, they pulled it back level but couldn't find a third. They are, however, in the Champions League finals, so all is not lost this season against my former Barcelona side. Meanwhile, I had to play in a playoff because I had somehow managed to catch Inter Milan and finish on the same points at the end of the Serie A season. And that playoff game did not go well for us as we had a player sent off early on, my centre-back of course, and Inter Milan proceeded to destroy us and punish us for that, winning 4-1 and even going 4-0 up. Dad's Champions League final against Barcelona also didn't start well as Barcelona took the lead early on in the second half through Ferran Torres, but it was just 10 minutes later that Rodrigo equalised for Spurs, and within 3 minutes, Dad's side struck again to score the winning goal and win another Champions League trophy.
Well, it's Champions League glory. It's just not what we wanted from either of us. You beat Arne Slot's Barcelona, my old Barcelona team, in the final. Rodrigo and Hendrick pulled it back from being 1-0 down to win 2-1. But it's kind of still a disappointing season for us in Glory Hunter. You didn't even win the Premier League this time round. Your cockiness has bit you in the bum there.
Yeah, I lost I didn't lose the last game of the season. I lost it at the last game of the season by drawing against Liverpool. I needed to beat them.
You were 2-0 down. Yeah. But you did pull it back to 2-2. But you needed a win.
I needed a win to take the league as well. So I needed a nice little double there. But like you say, it's the FA Cup I'm after.
Quarter-final exit by West Ham. He went on to the final and lost against Man City. And it was a very similar situation in Italy because I had a semi-final exit by Atalanta. He went on and lost in the final too. But I actually went down to a final day and it was a playoff against Inter Milan. I had another man sent off in a costly situation there. My centre-back getting sent off, which meant we lost 4-1 on the final day of the season in that playoff that we had to play because we did overtake them. We overtook them towards the end of the season. It was down to obviously the points that had been won. Unfortunately, we do not take the league title on this day. But not a great season for either of us, especially when Atalanta batter us 3-0 in the cup semi-final. So we couldn't even make the final this time round after how many times we have done it in the last few seasons. 3 in a row, I think. So we've gone backwards, unfortunately. But let's have a look then. So squad-wise, we got a new signing in the door, and this is what I like to see. The goals from Vlahovic, 39 in 46 games, is amazing. Vitor Roque's done well. Alberto's done well, 20 and 16. So not a bad little result in terms of the goals contributed from a lot of our attacking players. But we don't have really a lot of money to splash. You know, like if we are where we are in the league, that's one good player.
Yeah.
So where is that going to be sort of improved? We'll have to have a look. And to yourself, Dad, I mean, you've been splashing the cash. The fact that you haven't got a domestic trophy is quite hilarious, really. I mean, you winning the big one, the Champions League.
One, so I think the board would be happy.
Yes.
Coming second with the last day of the season, you know, nearly done it. So I think the board would be happy. But my front four are still doing the business for me, so I can't moan at them really. So.
Yeah, the two Brazilians are getting a good amount of goals.
Yeah.
And you've got £63 million, but you are quite far over the wage budget here. So maybe a bit of a clear out.
It's one of those seasons really I could sort of like just go as it is. You know, I feel that that team, it's hard to improve that team, I think, really. And like you say, it's hard to bring one player in to sort of go into that starting lineup, I feel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've got a lot of thinking to do. Have a look to see what's around and see where I go from here, really.
Yeah, both of us are still on the hunt for the domestic cup. And in terms of clubs available right now, nobody that really stands out, to be honest. Chelsea down in 9th place there.
It's no good for me going to
Even
Chelsea,
on the
really.
sort of insecure list. I mean, Mikel Arteta's at Burnley. His career's gone right down there. There's nobody there available either that looks like they could be losing their job. So I think we might be staying put.
One of the big teams came up, I would jump at it, I think, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you've only got the FA Cup and one of the best teams in the league. Your decision making in Glory Hunter shocks me.
Yeah, but I don't want to hang around too long again, you know.
When everybody was telling you not to hang around, you're like, one more season. When everybody's like, no, you need to stay there. You've got a decent team here at Spurs. I'll go on a heartbeat.
I wouldn't go at a heartbeat. It's got to be one of the big teams where you sort of like a Barcelona, Bayern Munich.
And Omega Dad is an enigma. He makes his own rules. Let's find out what happens this summer and see if he stays or not.
I'll be jumping. I'll be
gone. Oh, yeah. We both would.
With no trophies to add to the Glory Hunter cabinets, it's back to transfers. And after last season's switch of the tactic, we improve our attacking options with a new signing in Mexican attacking midfielder Mora, who scored the opening goal of our Serie A campaign. While Dad went in big, signing one striker as Benjamin Sesko joined Spurs. Unfortunately for Dad, though, it's been a terrible start to the season, which might be because of yet another change of the system, as the Tinkerman strikes again.
Well, I thought I was having a great window until João Gomez arrived, and then he was a non-EU player that we couldn't register. And yeah, here we are again. Not knowing the rules.
This is usually me though, isn't it?
Yeah, not knowing the rules of how it all pans out. Now, I did think we'd be okay for it because the likes of Lewis Ferguson left, but he did go on a free transfer to Brighton. He left with that non-EU rule attached to him. Well, we must have enough positions available, which is the reason why we went for João Gomez. But unfortunately, because we had also already gone for Gilberto Mora, who is a non-EU player, the Mexican attacking midfielder, and he is absolutely... I'd have been gutted if it was him. We obviously couldn't. But we've also got the likes of Wamba, who's come in, who's non-EU, and maybe that's where I was at fault there. He came in on loan, and I don't know. I've made some terrible decisions here, but they both the two deals got done at the same time, and I just didn't think of it. Another loan signing in Juma, who's come in at left wing back, just to give us a bit of options there. And Philip Jorgensen. We needed a good goalkeeper because Alex Meret has left the club, so we brought in Jorgensen. We still got two goalkeepers, but Torriani is less said about him the better. We are still playing the 4-2-3-1, and the fact that we keep losing in the cups, I'm locking in as many players as possible. I want this to be my front four and Ramirez to be playing in a different role here, the box-to-box playmaker role, and push forward. Jorgensen locked in as my goalkeeper. I want them to play every single game if possible. Alberto on the left, Vitor Roque there, and I want Mora in there. When I don't lock them in, Mora moves to the right, and I hate that. I don't want Mora playing from the right-hand side. To me, he is much better in that attacking midfield slot, which is exactly the reason why I bought him. Now, to start off the season, we have took a draw, but it was against Inter, so not bad really when you consider they won the league last year.
Yeah.
Beating us, obviously, but yeah, 0-0 draw with them, absolutely fine. Cremonense 2-1 away from home, despite us being... We had a man sent off and then still went on and won it in the 91st minute. They did score in the 92nd. But then Venezia 6-2 at the beginning of the season. Gilberto Mora in that attacking midfield slot got himself a hat-trick on his debut. So
Good start.
Great sign of things to come, we hope, from Gilberto Mora. Now, Dad, you did stay put with Spurs.
Yes, nothing sort of popped up really that I was interested in. So, yeah.
Stayed there and bought one player,
Yeah.
Benjamin Sesko.
Yes. I just wanted another striker in there just in case I get any injuries. I felt that at my back four and midfield I had enough players to cover everything. So I just thought, right, just get another striker in that could be dangerous. And it's worked for me so far. He's got 2 goals already.
Yeah.
With 2 assists. So,
Switch things around again. The Tinkerman strikes.
That's what I sort of like.
After winning the Champions League, remember?
Yes. I mean, I just thought Benjamin Sesko up there as a target striker might just work if I change it. So I changed it. So I'm only after a cup tonight, so it's worth it. I thought it'd be worth the gamble, really. Get Rodrigo out wide, Hendrick in the middle, and see what happens then. Go from there, really. Got the 2 midfield boys coming through.
All right, well, you have won, lost, and drew a game at the start of the season. Bought Sesko, and the team that sold him beat you 4-2.
Yeah.
Leeds also, though, a 6-0 win. You think, oh, lovely, we're back on track. And then you draw to Nottingham Forest in the 95th minute as well.
Yeah.
So
that's just the way it goes, isn't it? I mean, I can score 16 goals in 2 games and then I can see 3 against Nottingham Forest. So
yeah, a game for the
Spurs
neutral
all the
this
time,
one,
isn't it?
because you went 1-0 up, 2-1 down, 3-2 up,
yeah.
and then they equalised the 95th
last
minute.
minute,
That would have
yeah.
been a great game for Sky Sports to cover, that one. He did then beat Fleetwood 10-0 in the Cup, but to be honest, if you didn't beat them,
That's right. Yeah.
with an astonishing amount, we'd be like, ooh, it was a little bit close one.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all down to the Cups again. We rock and roll again. FA Cup, Coppa Italia, that's what we're looking for. Probably not going to be searching for jobs while we're doing it. Let's see what happens. In what was turned out to be my worst season at Napoli yet, the only positive was that we got through Lazio in the early rounds of the Coppa Italia. As both ourselves and Inter Milan were struggling in the Serie A, and surprise league leaders Como crept out of nowhere to be 10 points above me. Dad was trailing Liverpool again in the Premier League, so nothing new was there. It wasn't getting any easier for me in the Coppa Italia as we next had to overcome AC Milan in the quarterfinals. We managed to do so, winning 3-1. It was bad news for Dad though, as a 5th round FA Cup tie against Brentford was the end of the road for Spurs in the FA Cup. So with Dad out of the Cup and the Champions League because of Liverpool, it was back to Italy, where a 2-legged match against Bologna again took place, and this time our first leg win at home was 5-1. But even in the semi-final second leg, we didn't hold up and we smashed them 4-0, beating them 9-1 on aggregate. Of course, to lift the cup though, it wasn't going to be easy, as it was Inter Milan that we had to face again in the final. But with the league title race over, our sole focus went on that cup final. 5th season here in Napoli and our 4th attempt at winning the Coppa Italia. Can we finally get this one over the line, or will my suffering continue in Italy? Well, it started very well for us as we dominated the early period of the match, and within 20 minutes found ourselves in the lead thanks to Mora finding Ramirez. It stayed 1-0 into the second half, but eventually we got some air between the two sides when Alberto's cross was headed in. But we sealed the win and the cup from the penalty spot as Dusan Vlahovic scores a 3rd. And it's job done. We are finally Italian Cup winners, and we can add another trophy to our cabinet and find ourselves a new job. 5 seasons it took me. 5 seasons to finally win the Coppa Italia. We got the job done.
I was enjoying myself watching you struggle. Oh dear.
I can't afford to take that long again with a cup because, that was draining. But we got the job done. The boys got the job done. 3-0 against Inter Milan, which was great. And of course, we were nowhere near the league either. 5 points away from AC Milan, who kind of popped up out of nowhere and went on and won the league this season. Inter Milan was down below us there. But yeah, we weren't very good at all across this season outside of that Coppa Italia competition, where we just seemed to be very good. Dad, a season without a trophy, despite, of course, how good your team is.
Yeah.
Premier League goes to Liverpool again. They're also winning the FA Cup and going for the treble because they're about to face Inter Milan in the final of the Champions League as well.
That FA Cup's just doing me in, isn't it? Mm-hmm. What did I go? The 5th round, was it? Something?
5th round against Brentford was as far as you got.
Oh dear.
4-2 result.
I just don't know. I just felt that the actual squad I've got is so strong. I'm struggling to sort of like put anybody into the squad now.
Yeah.
So, and I've changed tactics this time to see if that would do any difference.
Too many times, some would say.
Well, the 4 I played up front stayed there for quite some time.
Yeah, so. But the trouble is you keep changing it when it's one time it was working, then you change it to something that doesn't work, and then you're constantly chasing what it was previously.
I mean, just look at that team there. It's just so good, isn't it, really?
Maybe not in that system, though.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going wrong. 33 goals from Benjamin Sesko, 25 and 28 from Endrick, 20 and 16 from Kulusevski. Xavi Simons has had a good season. Rodrigo's had an okay season. But you do have 23 million. But you're way over the wages. Yep. This is it. You've been spending. The time is up now.
Well, like I said, I would struggle to put a player into that squad, really. And like you say, I think it's just a case I might have to just tinker again.
Yeah.
And just try and have a little tactic and see if something else comes up. I don't know.
Okay, well, I will be leaving Napoli because my job in Italy is now done. And probably a good job because a lot of these players are good, but they're not amazing. And a lot of them will be leaving soon because of age, etc. Alberto, probably my key signing there, 21 and 19. He's probably the best player that we had since coming to Napoli. So very happy with that. But if we're looking at the players, the jobs available, we're still a little bit early. We're still right at the end of May. Sometimes they don't sack managers until you creep over. The Inter Milan manager is very insecure despite being in the Champions League final, which tells you everything about this.
If he loses, he's gone, isn't he? I think.
Yeah. But the big one underneath, Pep Guardiola at Manchester City is insecure after finishing in 7th place. Now, joining you in the Premier League would be very interesting indeed, especially when you've only got to go for one thing and I can disrupt it all if I join.
I tell you what, though, I could be tempted to jump ship again and go to Inter.
Really?
Well, they're a good side. They're a good side.
How do you know? Because this is very far into the future now.
Yeah.
A lot of their players are not the same ones. Lautaro Martinez is 35 years of age. Nowhere near as good as the 2 strikers that you've got. You got Roger Fernandez. Nowhere near as good as Endrick.
Oh, I know that.
So there's no point in moving.
There's one thing's definite. I ain't moving until you've got a job. Because I ain't letting you have Spurs.
Well, no, I wouldn't do that. No, definitely not. But that's where we end it, obviously, today, because we don't quite know where we're going to end up next. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next episode of The Glory Hunter to find out exactly where I go and to see if Dad decides to stay again. That's right, Italy is now complete and we look towards where we go next in Glory Hunter, with England and France still untouched. And after 5 seasons at Napoli, I have finally won the Coppa Italia and completed Italy. Meaning I am now halfway through completing my Glory Hunter cabinet as well. Dad is still at Spurs and has struggled to complete a single country yet, and only has 3 trophies in his Glory Hunter cabinet. So it was time for me to depart and leave Napoli, resigning from my job and ready to see what's up for next. What I thought would be next was the Bayern job, as that became available, but for some reason I wasn't able to apply for the role, despite needing to win the DFB-Pokal. It turns out the Bayern job was already secured for the current PSG manager, Julian Nagelsmann, which means the PSG job is free, and the perfect job for me to apply for, but Dad wasn't letting me have it too easily, and he's applied for it too. Given that France hasn't been explored at all for either of us yet, this is the best job available in the country, and both Dad and I was invited
invited in for an interview for the role. But it was Dad who was actually offered the job over me, meaning he leaves Spurs without winning that FA Cup. However, the PSG job is a hard one to turn down, especially with a team like this, because Dad instantly comes in and has the opportunity to cross off France in one fell season, which instantly puts the pressure on if I continue to struggle, adding to my glory hunter cabinet. While still unemployed, Spurs invited me in for an interview to take over from my dad, and it would be rude to turn that down. And just as the season was about to start, I'm offered the role as their new manager, and it's off to the Premier League. And we will be hoping to do what my dad couldn't and win both trophies in this country with his favourite club.
Well, what a busy summer. A lot of movement.
I really didn't want to move because I knew you would take my job, and I know this could backfire on me.
Well,
I just know it. I mean, I'm fingers crossed it don't, because PSG job don't come up very often, and it's one of those jobs. I think it's about 3 jobs you would take.
Yeah.
And that was one of them, so I just had to jump at it. And yes, they gave me the job, sort of thing. I'm thinking, I hope this don't backfire on me.
Yeah, I mean, I had no other option. But
No, you
PSG
didn't, no.
came up. I wanted the Bayern job because obviously I still need to do the DFB-Pokal.
Yes.
We couldn't apply for it. It was literally days after the job came available, and it just wasn't able to apply for it. It was very weird. So when we then obviously realised that it was because Nagelsmann was joining PSG, we were like, oh, well, I was thinking, PSG, easy. Because you ain't going for Bayern Munich.
No, I didn't go for it, no.
And as soon as I go, I want to go PSG, you're like, I want to go PSG too. And it's as soon as we got into the interviews, what did I say during that interview?
That your interview was longer than mine.
Yeah,
So
I
it
said
looked
that
like
they
they'd
are
already
seeing
picked
you
me.
as favourites.
Yes.
And straight away I knew, because my interview had some questions on there which wasn't on Dad's, I thought, they ain't giving me this.
I think they were on about the how amount of time that you spend at a club.
Yeah.
Well, I'd already been at 2 clubs, hadn't I? So
Yeah,
I'd been
which is
spending time
hilarious because I spent the last 5 seasons at Napoli. Crazy. But here we are, we're at Spurs anyway. We've got Napoli done and dusted. We left the club on good terms. Now we're here at Spurs. And I think I've adopted a very good team that Dad's built, including obviously some of the players that are there before he even got there. Now you are missing, you won the league, you hadn't won the FA Cup.
No, I just couldn't. I won everything
Before you
but
moved.
the league, the
Yeah.
Champions League.
So-
They're such a good side, and that's why I really didn't want to leave them. But the FA Cup just kept on doing me every season.
Now, of course, they didn't leave any money. I even sold a couple of players, but they were so far over the wage budget that we just literally had nothing. So Brennan Johnson's gone, Connor Winton's done. Dad's run this club into the ground.
No, I haven't. I just built such a good side that I was planning on not buying anybody this season. I don't need anybody.
Finances, they are in trouble. You can see £200 million in the red. Very bad indeed. So, yeah, we've had to make do with what we've got with this team. But I definitely think it's a good enough team to do a 1 in and out season if we're lucky. We're looking at a 4-2-3-1 with a 4-3-3 out of possession with the likes of Endrick, Kulizeski, Simmons, Moore. We've got Rodrigo on the bench there as well. Benjamin Šeško, of course, is there from Dad's side that he bought last season. Stiller, Sarr. Very good players indeed. And at the start of the season, of course, I'm chasing both the Premier League and the FA Cup. So there's 2 trophies I'm going for this year. We lost to Liverpool in the Community Shield, but we've won the following 4 fixtures. No real challenges, though. And I am thinking, although we haven't conceded any goals in the Premier League, we haven't played anybody amazing yet.
The only real hard game you had was Liverpool and you lost it. So.
Yeah.
But it's
what
a
I'm
charity shield,
trying to do is play a more possession-based tactic. So we're doing much shorter, we're passing it, we're being more expressive, trying to keep hold of the ball. And it does look like that is paying off in terms of the Premier League, because if we're looking at the Premier League as a whole, we have 67% possession so far at the start of the season. That's 2/3. That is 2/3 of the possession every single game so far on average we've got. We've got the most clean sheets, the most shots. We're doing all right. We just couldn't do it against Liverpool in that first game. So I don't know how this season's going to play out. Over to you, Dan, in your first season in France.
Yes.
And of course, we're looking at it again. No transfers coming in.
No, I had money to spend, but PSG being PSG, I looked at the squad and I thought, you know what? How can I buy a player that's going to come into this team and for the money that I had there? I mean,
yeah, only 52 million
so
over on the wages.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work. So
you can't run 2 clubs into the ground.
No, I can't do that, can I? So I just thought, right, just go with it. They're good enough. Please, could I just do an in and out season? That'd be just so good without spending a penny.
Yeah, I mean, you should do. This team's disgusting.
It's It's so good, isn't it? So
The,
it was just picking the right formation to go. I've just gone attacking. I'm just thinking there's not many teams in this league that can cause me a problem.
Yeah.
So just go for it. Just wear out attack. That's what I've done for.
I knew you'd like this team because the amount of former Arsenal players that was in it. Because you've got Calafiori's in it, Saliba, of course, Nwaneri up front.
Yeah, I knew that'd come back and bite me.
Yeah, and you don't actually have like an out-and-out striker.
No.
Because both of your strikers are attacking midfielders.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually have a striker up there, but still, they play up there nearly at 5-star. Kvaratskhelia is, of course, one of the best players on this game.
He is so good, isn't he?
Out on the left. Doué on the right, just as good. Another wide forward in there. Neves and Vitinha.
Yeah,
the two Portuguese midfielders.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Nuno Mendes in the left back. Hakimi at right back.
Just keep getting better and better.
Yeah. Even on the bench, you've got like Zaire Emery.
Yeah.
Look how good he is. Of course, you've got Malik Fofana, who's joined the club recently. He's very good. So, yeah, a quality team set up in a very attacking way. And at the start of the season, in league fixtures, you've won every single one so far. However, you have conceded in every single one.
Yes.
Scoring a lot of goals.
That's a bit worrying, really. I mean, I'm looking at that really, and Arsenal with a team that in a friendly caused me problems. Look,
Yeah.
And I didn't score against them. That worried me when I seen that.
Yeah.
But, league-wise, like I said, there's not many teams that's going to cause me any problems. Not many teams in it is going to cause me many problems. So that's how it started off.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see how this season plays out then. Both of us are going for the domestic double. First seasons in our new leagues. Let's see if one of us can pull it off. With the season underway, Dad's PSG side did drop quite a lot of points early on, but the teams around him were failing to capitalise. And Dad was still top of the league, albeit by just a single point at the halfway stage of the league season. I was in a similar scenario myself in the Premier League with Spurs. The teams around me being much closer in quality to me than Dad, but we were doing well to push ourselves ahead by the new year. However, Manchester United could go ahead of us with a game in hand, but we were still in the title race for now. But of course, in the new year, it's FA Cup time, and in just the 5th round, we come up against one of the best teams in the league, in Liverpool, and thankfully, we managed to weather the storm and beat them 2-1. While Dad was destroying Strasbourg 7-1 in the Coupe de France quarter-final, putting him on course to do the double in one season, as he began to also open up a gap at the top of the league table as well. Meanwhile, I dropped off in the Premier League behind both Manchester United and Liverpool. My run in the FA Cup did come to an end as well at the hands of Bournemouth in the semi-final because of a penalty shootout. While Dad defeated his Parisian rivals Paris FC 3-0 in the Coupe de France to play Marseille in the final. Dad and I actually clashed in another semi-final, the Champions League, and across 2 legs, there was only one winner as I battered him 5-0 on aggregate. He wasn't too disheartened because his PSG side were crowned champions of France, and he added another trophy to his glory hunter cabinet. In what could be the most remarkable end of the season, however, I am behind Liverpool and Manchester United in the Premier League, but my final 3 games is both of those teams and my former Napoli side in the UEFA Champions League final. And the first part of the miracle was complete when we beat Liverpool 1-0 to put us in second and in striking range of winning the Premier League on the final day against Manchester United. A win, and we actually leapfrogged them to the title on goal difference. Before that drama, it was the Coupe de France final time for Dad against Marseille and a chance to complete France in one season swoop. And on that day, Marseille were simply no match for Dad's side, and within 2 minutes they took the lead and just continued to dominate the game, eventually winning 3-0. There it is, a second trophy in France, meaning he indeed completes France in one season in terms of the Glory Hunter cabinet. And this immediately makes for a good look in terms of that Glory Hunter cabinet filling up too. However, despite me being knocked out of the FA Cup, a win against Manchester United would help me lift the Premier League. We fell behind at Old Trafford against Manchester United within 10 minutes. And it wasn't until the second half when we finally got ourselves back into the fixture, equalising on the 49th minute thanks to Xavi Simons. But we needed to win the tie, and a big opportunity came around on the hour mark. An opportunity that former Manchester United man Benjamin Sesko took. And we overtake them to lift the Premier League trophy on goal difference at Old Trafford, thanks to a former player. Our season wasn't over there because we also came from behind against my former Napoli side to lift the UEFA Champions League trophy too, winning 2-1 in extra time. What an end of the season we've had, by the way.
All off, but it goes.
You're done in France. I had bragging rights knocking you out of the Champions League in the semi-final.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'm going to
Without
take that.
conceding a goal, by the way. 5-0. Very happy with that. But, I mean, you're the last one laughing because you are done in France.
Yes.
You've beaten...
All done.
Won the league by, 11 points out of Canter, really losing 3. But, of course, stuffed Marseille in the final.
Yeah, so pleased with that. I don't think I've done it before, been in and out in one season. So
No.
really, really pleased with that. It goes to show I've made the right move by going to PSG.
Yeah.
2 trophies in the bag, done and dusted, out of France. Go.
And I might be crazy for saying this, but I won't be taking your job. I'm going to commit myself to Spurs for another season. After, of course, winning the league on the final day, where 2 games before, I had to play both Liverpool and Man United, who were second and third, and I somehow pulled it off.
You were in third at the time.
Yeah.
Man United were first, Liverpool then you. So 2 good wins there to win the league.
Pulled it off on the final day, beating them.
Do you know, when I seen you had them 2 teams, I thought you're going to drop points in one of those games, surely. And you know it was away at the last game of the season. Well
Done it. And then hilariously defeated my old side Napoli in the Champions League final in extra time. Lovely stuff. Vitor Roque scored the first there. Look, bless him. Yeah, what a season. What a crazy season. It was the only disappointment was the semi-final loss to Bournemouth because they played Hull in the final.
That's unbelievable.
From the Championship. I can't believe that. That's so annoying. I could have had the most perfect season there. Because that would have just even topped yours, but they beat me on penalties.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse. So disappointing. Getting knocked out of that competition after just almost having the perfect year, the perfect season. But there we go. Now, one thing did happen throughout the season that we did not showcase. Look at the balance. That's big.
Shit.
There's a big uptick.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for it. Now, if we're looking at the club as a whole... and on the club site there, the club history, you go to landmarks. Throughout the season, a new Tycoon takeover happened. Seong Nam Shin has took over at Spurs as a Tycoon takeover, pumped a crap load of money into it. And now this summer, it says 300 million, but the wages is 1.6. So if we just transfer that across, because there's no way I need 1.6 million, I mean, that's still like 600. 338 million pound in the transfer budget.
I ain't saying nothing because I spent a lot of money at Spurs, but God, you don't have to get some luck, don't you?
It's crazy. So, I gotta go only for the FA Cup next season. I did think, I could go to PSG and do exactly the same thing as that. I feel that's kind of cheating in a way. I took the Spurs job because I was unemployed.
Yeah.
I've got a job here. I'm going to stay here and try and get the FA Cup done next season. I am losing Rodrigo, though. He's going to Barcelona.
Yes.
Which is annoying because he was my top scorer, 25 and 14, but he decided not to secure another contract.
He's 33 and you just got 300 million to spend. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you could find another striker almost as good.
Yeah, because he's slightly dropping off. Natural fitness of 13.
Yeah.
He's still good. He's still amazing.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But yeah, just a slight little that's annoying. But I've got £338 million to find a replacement. I think I'll be all right. I should be absolutely fine.
I think if I was at Spurs and I had that type of money, I don't think I would have left.
Liar. Anyway, let's have a look at the goals from this one and done side that you've got at PSG. 40 goals from Rodrigo Mora. Remember, not actually a striker, but what a player he is indeed.
Oh, and he looks good now as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then this guy got 26.
Yeah.
Plays up front, plays defensive midfield. Okay, Devlegia. Yeah, okay, sure.
Great.
Desiree Doué's done really well. Nwanyeri's done really well. Vitinha.
Good team performance there, I think.
Yeah, Glukov as well, another striker from the youth academy. Very good player indeed. Or Germany, so he's probably not from the youth academy. Chelsea. They just bought him from Chelsea. So, yeah, very good player, but there we go.
See, I can go to teams and not spend a penny.
All got bought for you. What about, though, clubs available? Now, right now, there's only 3 jobs available. None of these seem very appealing.
No.
But of course, with the PSG job coming available, it's whoever takes that.
That's what I'm just going to sit there and just see who takes my job. And fingers crossed, someone big takes it.
Yeah. Someone
That's what
from one of the bigger
really.
clubs.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look then throughout the summer to see who it is that steps up and takes the PSG job and whether it is from a club that Dad wants to go to.
So there's another trophy added to the cabinet with just 5 to go now, and we are heading towards the finish line. For Dad, his journey in France was short but sweet, and he's resigning to move on. And the PSG job he just left was taken by none other than Arne Slot, who departs Barcelona, a team in a country that my dad has yet to manage in, my former club as well, and he applies immediately and getting an interview. Being offered the job, meaning his time unemployed was very short, and he's already back to business. And with money to burn there, he's spending nearly £400 million to hopefully keep this adventure in Spain as short as his France trip. And with Real Madrid failing in recent years, you wouldn't put it past him either, especially with the team that he has now.
Guy, you in half spawny.
Oh, my luck's changed my way.
Barcelona.
Couldn't believe my luck.
I'm getting a little bit worried now. Because in terms of trophies, off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure how far behind you are. But if I struggle at Tottenham with the FA Cup and you do another one and done,
I'm right on
I'm
your
in
own.
deep trouble.
Yes.
I just know that I've got Italy to fall on.
I also
Because I've got that done and you haven't.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh, come on.
But there we go. Barcelona
I'll tell you
manager
what,
going
I
to
couldn't ask for
PSG.
two teams coming up at the right time.
Yeah.
And I would have picked those two teams.
And
PSG
Glory Hunter is all about the timing.
Yeah.
All about the timing of the
And
club that you
if
go
you're at
to.
if you are at one of the big clubs and you resign from them, one of the other big clubs normally comes up with a little bit of luck. And I was lucky today.
And you're getting Lamine Yamal in his prime at 27.
Look at him, look.
Not only that, but the money that you had to spend
Yes.
was ridiculous.
So yeah, it was just the same as what Spurs did, really.
Yeah, £377 million. We got Sami Bouadine, who has joined as an amazing striker.
Yeah, I wanted to play two up front, so they didn't have what I would class as a outclass sort of striker. This guy does it for me. I think he's gonna score goals for me.
Wan Lu at right back. They loaned out their right back. It was really strange. Dedic has
And
gone
do you know
out.
what? I struggled to get a youngster right back in who I felt could come into the team and do well.
Yeah.
So I had to go for a 31-year-old. He's not great, but he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I still think he's a good right back. But this is where all my money went. I went to my old club.
The story first is that you did go for another player who rejected you.
Yes.
And we cannot believe how or why, because this
was
man here,
unbelievable,
Alvaro
wasn't he?
Ravello, who you acted a release clause of 260 million.
And I looked at it as well. We coming through Corona as well, another Spanish side. It weakened them big style, but somehow they talked him into staying.
Yeah, he signed a new deal.
Yes.
Because that would have been your player, because he is world class. One of the best left midfielders on the game, and he's 24 years of age.
You see the money it was going to cost. I was in 200.
Yeah, you offered more than that.
Yes, I did, yeah.
500 grand. But yeah, instead, I mean, you ended up with former Arsenal player Ethan Nwaneri. Written in the stars.
He was from PSG. That's where I was signing him from. I knew what he can do for me, so I brought him in. He can play right across that front forward ready for me.
Yeah, world class.
That's what I got for, yeah.
World class player. Now, you've gone for a setup similar to PSG. Trying to replicate it, I guess.
Yes, I was, yeah. I mean, it won me the double there, and that's what I was hoping for here, really.
Yeah, you can see
So,
obviously
I'll go for
Dedic is loaned out, which
when
is
you
why
look at them
Wan Lu
as well,
comes in.
they're not far off being the same sort of team, really. A really, really strong midfield. And I've made the strike force quite good now. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Two good wingers.
Of course, you've also got Rodrigo
Yes. It's weird it goes round, isn't it?
from Spurs,
Yeah.
of course, but he doesn't even get on the bench.
No, I
which is
think I
funny
had,
enough.
I had another youngster there who was quite good. I think
Yeah, they got
was it?
Grace up front.
Yeah, he was. I mean, 20 years of age, so I didn't realise how good he was when I bought my other striker.
Yeah,
but
I got him from Club
I'm
Brugge.
glad I did.
Yeah.
Glad I did.
Very good player. Start of the season then. Let's have a look at the fixtures, the opening fixtures. You've won 2 from 2 in terms of the league, so not bad. Vero Valladolid and Cadiz, 3-1 results
I
there.
haven't played anybody big yet, though. At the
No,
moment,
that's it.
But
So-
it's still 100% record, so I'm going to take that.
Don't know how this season's going to go. Real Madrid is still managed by Antonio Conte at this point. They've still got the likes of Bellingham, Vinicius
Yeah,
Jr.
it's still-
and Mbappe.
It's still going to be an art. I mean, I'd love to do what you've done when you went to Barca, the treble. That'd be great. So,
Yeah.
Fingers
You are
crossed.
odds-on favourite, though.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I have got a really good side. So, yeah.
Obviously, I had Tycoon money at Spurs, so I was able to spend big while I was here too, and I stuck to my word. I stayed here. Sold as well, Hugo Larsson. lost Galvini, lost Rodrigo, but that's fine. We have signed Obi Olorenwaju from Aston Villa. £69 million, that's a naughty number, but that was his release clause. Centre-back option, left-footed centre-back, very good player, 6'3", great jump and reach, great pace. I think he looks amazing, so I'm going to lock him in this year because for some reason he wouldn't get in. And he has an amazing potential, which is better than his current ability. So I'm interested to see what he could be like in like 3 or 4 years after some game time. He wasn't the only signing, though, because we also raided PSG. £122 million for João Neves.
Yeah, good sign.
Needed a midfielder, got him.
I was going to go for him.
Yeah, very good player.
I mean, the 2 players that you sold to Barcelona, that was before I went there.
Yes, Hugo Larsson also went there.
I didn't spend that money.
Yeah.
That goes to show how well I've done with... Because they gave me all that money, even though they spent that money at 58 million for him.
Then the final signing was Valentini from AC Milan. £107 million. After losing Rodrigo, he's a replacement. So he can play centre attacking midfield or on the left. Looks a very good player, to be honest. His technicals are probably the weakest point, but still very good at dribbling, passing, and technique, so I'm happy. And we are keeping with the same tactic of what we did last season. This very much playmaking style. We've got a box-to-box playmaker, a free roll. We've got a playmaking winger, which I've never really used. An advanced centre-back, which is quite unique in this, but we've got some good players who can do that role in Vuskovic and Lenny Yoro, who's 2 world-class centre-backs as well. So we've got options there to play those roles and fit into this. So, of course, winning the league on the final game of the season last year, we don't have to worry about it this year. We have lost against Chelsea at the start of the season 1-0, but we have defeated Manchester City 4-2 in the Premier League, lost to them on penalties in the Super Cup, beat Hull, annoyingly, the FA Cup winners, Hull 3-0, and then Southampton 6-0. So it's a good start, but of course, it's the FA Cup we are only worried about this year. So let's see what happens.
With my season not really starting until the FA Cup begins in January, the first half is about Dad's league campaign. And he was somehow struggling down in 3rd place behind both Madrid sides and 4 points off the top spot. Eventually in the new year, my season began and we got through the first 3 rounds of the FA Cup, putting us into the quarterfinals. Unfortunately for Dad, the dream season was over in Spain because his Copa del Rey quarterfinal tie was against Real Madrid. They dumped him out of the competition. He had got himself back into the title race and top of the league, with Real Madrid falling off a cliff back down into 4th place. Back in the FA Cup in England, and after an extra time win in the quarterfinals against Sheffield United, it was a semi-final match to come against Liverpool. And at Wembley, just 1 goal was scored against them, and Kulusevski put my Spurs side into the final against Manchester United, who had also just beaten me to the Premier League title too. It was down to the final day in Spain, as Dad was above Atletico Madrid with them both on the same points, meaning he needed a win against Getafe. And it was an away trip to Getafe too, and that could be a difficult one, but he got the job done, securing a 2-0 win and the La Liga trophy for Barcelona. He did have 1 game left though, and it was a match against me in the Champions League final. Before then, however, I needed to complete England and win the FA Cup, and although Manchester United won the league this season, this final was a complete surprise as we scored really early on and never took our foot off the gas, absolutely smashing them, and even went 4-0 up at one point, finishing the match 4-2 winners to lift the FA Cup trophy, adding that to my glory hunter cabinet at the end of season 10, with just Dad to face as my last game as Spurs manager. A fitting end really, as we both face our former clubs on the biggest stage in which we won the competition with that team in the past. But with only bragging rights on the table, 1 goal was scored, and it was Ethan Nwaneri of Barcelona to help my dad win the Champions League. So congrats to Dad on winning the trophy, but I'm happy either way, as I've now completed England, and it's going to be exciting to see what's available for me to go to next in Glory Hunter.
Well, Dad, you can stick your Champions League where the sun don't shine, because I don't need it anyway. We're leaving Spurs. We have gone on. We have done the FA Cup. We beat Manchester United 4-2 at Wembley Stadium. Get in. 4-0 up as well. The team, of course, which managed by Unai Emery, we've had a lot of run-ins with, and I don't think they liked me after knocking them off the top perch last season. We've let them win the league this year because we didn't need to win it. But still, we've gone on. We've done very well. We didn't need the Champions League. We did that last year too. We also knocked out Real Madrid in the semi-final. We did very well this year. We can leave Spurs as champions of the FA Cup, Premier League winners last season. We've completed England.
Oh, I'm really worried now because You normally struggle with that FA Cup.
I know.
Same
2
as I
seasons.
have
I'm
this
so pleased with that.
far, yeah.
Coppa
2
Italia took me
seasons.
5 though.
Yeah.
That's the difference. 5 years on the Coppa Italia is what cost me, and how you've been able to catch up. Speaking of catching up, you did get one of them over the line.
Yes.
Not both. On the
No.
final day, beating Getafe to win the league, 89 points to
I'll
Atletico's
tell you what.
86.
How have I won that league?
Yeah.
How
5
did-
loses.
Real Madrid lose 7 games, is it?
Yeah. They did very bad.
I was
Very
lu-
bad.
I'm gonna put my hand up. I do when I feel I am lucky. I'm lucky this time.
Yeah.
I scored a lot of goals in the league and that, and so I deserved to win the league. But I was lucky with Real Madrid losing 7 games and drawing 6, because that don't normally happen.
No. Annoyingly,
Yeah.
them winning the Copa del Rey might be the only reason why it keeps their job.
Yes.
Which I could have really done with them sacking Conte, because then somebody big might take his job.
Yes.
I'm looking at you, Arne Slot at PSG. And I could maybe have gone to PSG or wherever the Bayern Munich
Yeah, done me a
manager
big
is now.
favour there. So done me a big favour in one way with them winning, but a bad. I mean, if they hadn't beat me in
Yeah.
what was it, the quarterfinal? They beat me.
Yes.
That would have been me. So I feel that I was robbed a little bit, but I've got to take it. I kept my job. I won the league. I won the Champions League. I'm in with a good shape, really. Another season. Hopefully, I'll do it this season.
Got to win the Copa del Rey.
I'll win the Copa del Rey, yeah.
So you can see a lot of goals coming in there from the squad. For recruitment, you got 300. The wage is 2 million. 380 million transfer. What the? It's like 500 mil. What's the? Ridiculous. If you don't win the Copa del Rey,
This is a problem now, isn't it? Because I'm looking at it now and thinking, all right, I can buy the best players, in a lot of positions, but doesn't always work like that, does it?
no.
Really?
All
You
right.
got to have that right tactic to go with it as well.
So I am 4 trophies away from completing Glory Hunter now.
Right.
We're in season 10, which is a halfway point.
Yes.
But this is where it gets really difficult, because one of the trophies I need is the Europa League, which of course we both agree is the hardest one to win.
It is, yeah.
Neither of us have actually done it yet. I think this might be the time where I leave Spurs and look for a Europa League team
So what?
and have a shot at it.
So what's the you got to go to
I need to go
France,
back to Germany and win
And-
the DFB-Pokal
and both in France.
and the 2 in France.
Yeah.
So that's the clubs I need to go to now. There's no point me staying at Spurs because they're not in Europa League.
There's nothing there you can do with well,
Very good team. Very much enjoyed it. Whoever takes over at Spurs has got a good amount of money as well, like £1.7 million there.
You're going to be looking at it really and thinking there's going to be a big manager coming for that job.
Yeah, because we've left them as finalists again.
Yeah, they've got a lot
But there's
of money.
also some massive clubs available here. And Napoli, they're in Europa League. My old side, Napoli. I could go back to them with Alberto and Vitor Roque, Gilberto Mora. That team was fantastic.
Yeah.
Could I just be a little bit cheeky, go back to Napoli? They probably would want me back.
They would take you back.
Yeah.
They would take you back, definitely.
My only worry is that they're in the Europa Conference League at the minute, and it wouldn't register to go to the... And I'll be stuck in the Europa
It
Conference
didn't
League.
with me with Spurs, did it?
No, it didn't.
I ended up winning the Conference League when we thought it was going to be in the Europa League.
So I can't really do that. And in terms of the other jobs, I mean, Arsenal finishing 7th place. I think that's actually Europa League too. If we're looking at that, that is Europa League. They are guaranteed Europa League next season. They've got Bukayo Saka, Carlos Baleba, Miles Lewis-Skelly. They should be Europa League favourites. Can I go there and do that? Oh, imagine
see
being
that.
how scummy that would be, going from Spurs to Arsenal.
I didn't want to see that. Oh, God almighty.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
So I do have options, but what would you do in my situation? Juventus is not in it. 9th place, they're not in it at all. The only French side is Lorient. Not interested in that whatsoever. Do I risk it? Go to Napoli, potentially not even be in the competition? Do I go to Arsenal, who I know is in the competition, but then I have to stay in the Premier League and join a rival side? They might not even entertain me. I don't know. Do I sit back and wait and see what crops up? Because some big clubs might sack their manager halfway through the season who is already in the Europa League.
Yes, I mean, you've done that before.
Yeah, that failed at Leipzig. That was a
Yeah.
failed experiment. So, let's find out. But make sure you stick around and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next episode
Glory Hunter. Lots of decisions to make in the Glory Hunter Challenge next, but 2 trophies need to be added to our cabinets as we race towards the finish line. With Dad's recent pit stop in France, he completed things rather quickly with PSG lifting the league title and the cup, keeping his dream of winning Glory Hunter before me alive. He still has a lot to do though, but that was a big season for him. While I moved to Spurs after leaving Napoli and on the final day of the season beat Manchester United, who are currently winning the league, to overtake them and lift the title myself. The following season we also won the FA Cup as well, meaning our Glory Hunter cabinet is looking rather good going into season 11. However, Dad got a big move to Barcelona and won the La Liga but failed to lift the Copa del Rey. But it's still a great couple of years for him. With England complete, I left Spurs and resigned, but took a chance and applied for Arsenal because they were in the Europa League spots. And maybe it was my credentials, or maybe it was because they were stealing the Spurs manager, but the Gunners offered me the job. Dad was dealing with some big money in Spain as huge bids were coming in for his star man Lamine Yamal. Of course, Dad rejected those offers though, and Yamal stayed put, scoring goals for Barcelona. My Arsenal team was set up in a 4-3-3 with a couple of new signings and ready for the new season. A loss to Spurs in the Premier League started the campaign, but we are waiting for the Europa League as our only task for this season anyway, and both Dad and I are waiting on cup competitions.
Right, Dad. I've gone from Spurs to Arsenal, but it could be just a one-season move.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
I mean, I needed to do Europa League.
Oh, I can see why you've done it, but oh God, I mean, there'll be people there going, what?
Yeah. They've got a good team. They've sold a few players, which just as I joined, they sold a few players. But they also had an arrangement of Mikhaili Fai joining from Man United on a loan to buy. We had them last season. They had them last season. So, yeah, that was not my doing. But the 2 that I actually signed was these 2 here. So, Nathan from Bayern Munich, £60 million. I needed a better striker, so I think he's a decent striker. He's got 3 goals in 2 Premier League games already and got my curse of being injured straight away. But I like his physicals. Obviously, the 3 that we always look for in the technicals as well as technique. He's all yellow there, which is great. He's only 23 too, so not a bad little player. And then João Rego, a little bit more of a familiar name. £22.5 million. There are some weaknesses in this Arsenal team, including the front line. So I've gone and brought in João Rego, who my assistant manager doesn't rate him that highly, but if you just look at his base attributes, he's a great squad player, I think. 30 years of age now. Yeah. So, setting them up, I've gone easy in a 4-3-3. Just leave it sort of very simple. Tiki-taka style as well. You can see I'm playing shorter passing directness, much higher tempo. We're trying to keep the ball, high possession, because we've got good players when we've got the ball. The likes of Adam Morton, who is still here, he's only 31. Bukayo Saka is still our best player at age 33, amazing player. We've got Diamonde at the back. Timber, Lewis Skelly's there as a playmaking wing-back. What a player he is in his prime. So we've got the players to do it and keep the ball. Now, we haven't started the season amazingly well, but we're not worried about the Premier League campaign. As long as we keep our job, we're all right.
Oh, look at the game you lost.
But I know, losing the Spurs away from home, they got a player sent off, but they weren't 2-1 up. Yeah, we beat Wolves 3-0 at the start of the season, which was great. 4-1 against Aston Villa, which was fine. Losing to Spurs isn't too bad. I built a great team there, although you have stole a couple of their players.
Yes, yeah.
And I drew to Burnley, which is probably the only bad result. However, we were 2 goals down. We got a former Barcelona player, Dro, in there, who's quite good. But we were 2 goals down and managed to pull it back. So I'm all right with it, to be honest. Because form like that will put me back in the Europa League.
Yeah, true.
A second go at it, if I need be.
That's the thing. You're not interested in the league, really, as long as you stay there or thereabouts.
Yeah. So I'll keep an eye on other clubs throughout the season, but as long as Arsenal are doing all right in the Europa League, I don't feel there's any necessarily need for me to move. Because if we're looking at the Europa League, there is some good teams in there, but you're looking at it and you're probably thinking,
you've got to be
Arsenal's probably one of the favourites in there. My biggest worry is Napoli.
Lazio and Napoli, I would say. Yeah, definitely.
My own team, Napoli, because nobody has taken the 3 players I had for them up front. Vito Roque, Gilberto Mora, and Alberto. I can't believe Alberto is still there. Although he is valued like 200 million. So that's the problem why.
Far out, isn't he?
But yeah, I mean, those 3 players was the reason why I managed to complete Italy in the first place. Hold on, the manager is now Steven Berghuis. the former Ajax player. So he is a very good manager as well. I like it when you get this far in and players become managers. We're sort of, 11 seasons in now. So, yeah, as we're looking at it, they are probably the best team in there for me to come up against.
We've got Newcastle there
trouble.
as well. I've just noticed in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think they've been doing as well, though. They've got Camavinga, still got Voltemada. They've got some good players. Terzic is their manager. But, I think potentially them and Napoli are the two teams that might cause me trouble there. Anyway, over to you in Spain. Because speaking of trouble, you've been struggling with that cup after your first season. But the rest of it, easy. And you start the season unbelievably well. Although you have lost the first game.
Yeah, I lost the first game.
8-0 and 5-0.
I can't believe I lost that game after scoring so many goals in the friendlies as well.
Yeah.
And then the next game scoring 8. But
it's because of the signings you've made.
I just bought in. I needed goals.
Who did you bring in?
I know who you didn't bring in, but if you need goals, who do you bring in? The most important person, I feel. At 35 and he's still that good. I mean, there's 420s in there. Is it 320s? I can see 19s and all that. And he doesn't very often leave Man City, does he?
No, it's very rare.
So
it's also very rare for you to sign anybody over the age of 30.
Well, I just looked at it and I just thought, I wonder where Erling Haaland would be available. And I looked at that picture today and I'm thinking, he's still got it. He could still score goals. And hopefully, I'm only needing for a season.
Yeah.
So I tried my luck and I got him cheapest chips and he come.
£60 million.
Whoa.
Some would say that maybe not cheapest chips for
but no, it's not.
But he's very good.
For that sort of striker, it is good. It's cheap, but and he's got 3 goals already. So
Vuskovic from Spurs.
I went back to Spurs and bought. I think I bought this guy
picking a couple of my players.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. He's at the club to begin with.
Oh right, yeah,
he's a real player.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Vuskovic is one of the signings made for 100 million.
He was one of the best sort of centre backs that was there when he. So yeah.
But these two I think are also really good. So Raider Bilal is a right back from Dortmund. Fantastic player.
I needed a good right back, so I brought this guy in. Yeah,
probably the best right back in the world. I think, from what I've seen anyway. Then we've also got the goalkeeper.
Wow.
One Pablo Ortegon.
I just cleaned this keeper up and I thought, I'll tell you what, 24 years of age and he's that good. Bang, I've got him. Yeah, again, probably the best in the world in his position. Then we got Carreras, again from Spurs. You actually bought him to That's
Spurs.
The guy I was thinking about. Yeah, I knew I bought one of them in. So,
50 million.
This guy's 32, so I thought, I needed 2 left backs. I didn't have a proper left back in the team, so I got this guy before I got the next one because I was just confident I was going to get him.
Fernando
but then I thought,
Huaman.
I still had quite a bit of money, so I thought, right, who's better? And this guy is, so I got this guy in as well.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I've got my defense is absolutely so good, and I feel that I've got reserve in the positions at the same time as well. So
do
my back
you have
four,
the system to dominate though? That's the question.
I'm hoping I have this time. I'm not sort of going out and out attacking this time. I'm just sort of, I'm not, but I'm trying to be a bit. I've got better defenders in.
I think we missed a signing as well because you've got another Spurs player in there. You have.
Yeah.
For 113 million.
Yeah, we forgot him, yeah.
Because it's the guy that I brought to Spurs at left fullback, or left centre-back, sorry.
Yeah.
Very good player. I think I bought him from Aston Villa the season before for 76.
Yeah.
So, he's moved around twice quite often. But, that is your new centre-back partnership there.
Yeah,
actually taking out Kabasi as well.
So I've just replaced the whole back 4, back 5, really. So I just feel it's such a much stronger side now. Pedri and Cavi, I'm just bombing forward now and trying to support the front 2. So hopefully, but in defence, in out of possession, I'm bringing everybody back and trying to help out as well. I've got the 2 strikers dropping back into the midfield, so I'm just trying to be sort of a little bit more defensive when I lose the ball. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. So out of possession, more defensive, try and get the ball back and then quickly break again.
All right, so you're trying to win the Copa del Rey. I'm trying to win the Europa League. So league games, not really too bothered about.
No.
It's all about those cups.
Dad's Barcelona side comfortably got through the earlier rounds of the Copa del Rey with ease, taking them into the quarter-final. Where the team that knocked them out last season, Atletico Madrid, is up next. Meanwhile, I was struggling to get in the top 8 of the Europa League phase after drawing too many fixtures. And despite winning our final league phase fixture, we still ended up having to play Club Brugge in the knockout playoff rounds. Defeating them 5-1 on aggregate though. Quarter-final time of the Copa del Rey, and what a match it was after Atletico Madrid got a 2-goal lead and Dad pulled it back to 2-2. But unfortunately for him, Atletico once again were the bogey team and they scored 2 more, knocking Dad out 4-2. So with Dad out of the competition, it was down to my Europa League campaign to see how far we could go. And despite having the best team left in the competition, a semi-final clash against my old Napoli side took us all the way to extra time and penalties in the second leg with the aggregate score of 3-3. Only to be knocked out by my 2 most reliable goal scorers missing their penalties. Dad's Barcelona won the league by a mile and even found themselves in the Champions League final against Manchester United. But it was another bad day at the office as they lost 3-0.
Well, final game of the season, losing in the Champions League final to Manchester United, Unai Emery's side. But we didn't really worry about that. You won the league quite comfortably too, nearly 20 points. Real Madrid, they have dropped off so much in this. It's unbelievable.
And I've got to make sure I sort of jump on this sort of situation as well. They're not, because when they are there, they're a dangerous team. But
Copa del Rey losing 4-2 to Atletico. De Zerbi's Atletico.
It was one of the Madrid sides kept on punishing me, and this time it was Atletico. They just done me in the league as well. I think I just couldn't beat them this season. So
look who they signed. Different Alberto. It'd be funny if it was the same one, wouldn't it? After we talk about it. No, because instead he came and haunted me against my Arsenal side in the Europa League. They beat me 3-1 in the first leg. He didn't actually score then, but they beat me on penalties in the second leg. Very annoying. So frustrated with that. He scored the winning penalty. And who missed the penalties? Bukayo Saka and Nathan, my main striker.
Yeah.
So the 2 guys I was actually relying on scoring the goals missed. Couldn't believe it. Especially when they were the ones that equalised in the last minute of the game. Well, actually, in extra time to then take it to extra time. Well, they scored in extra time too. Yeah, I just can't believe it. So frustrating. So frustrating. Europa League. That one's a miss because, I mean, we did okay in the league. We finished in 4th. Which meant we go for the Champions League now. Liverpool job is available, by the way, but because Manchester United won the Champions League, Liverpool are now in the Champions League too. So that's cost me a position there because I could have easily have gone straight to Liverpool maybe and had another crack at the Europa League. So
I was a little bit pleased that I'd lost.
Yeah, you losing has actually helped your situation in total. But Napoli won the Europa League 4-0 against Sevilla there. So. Oh, how annoying. Steven Berghuis has done quite a good job there, even though they finish in 5th.
Done me a big favour there.
In the Serie A. So neither of us have got a trophy to add in our trophy cabinet, but there's no point me staying in Arsenal.
Well, you got nothing to play for.
Nothing to play for here.
Done me a big favour by losing the United because Liverpool dropped out of it, so you can't even go for the Liverpool. Well, you can go for the Liverpool, there's no point.
No.
So at the moment, there's no jobs that's sort of any good for you there.
No, I mean, Sociedad are in the Europa League, but they're not a team that will be challenging. I mean, their key players nowhere near the standard that you need really to win the Europa League. So I think I'm going to have a wait around and see what crops up, while you still stick around at Barcelona, I guess.
I'd be silly if I leave Barcelona.
The best chance to get a Copa del Rey.
They are and as you can see, how far Real Madrid are behind. They're by far the best team in that league at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what my budget would be at the moment, but I don't know how I can even improve that team. But
your budget is only 300 million.
I don't know. I'll have to have another look just to see what. I'll have to have a look at my reserve team and just see if I can improve the reserve team. I feel.
I think you need to work on your tactics more than anything. Anyway, let's see what happens this summer.
Still won the league, don't I, by far?
Yeah, you can't win those cups.
And I got to the Champions League, so
can't win the cups.
No, that's a problem.
With Arsenal no longer in the Europa League, it was time for me to resign and leave the club. And eventually a job with Wolfsburg popped up, who found themselves in the Europa League qualification spots for next season. I of course need to win the DFB-Pokal as well, so this move definitely made sense, and they invited me in and offered me a job within a couple of weeks. They had some decent players, but not really any standouts, so the system was kept simple for now. Meanwhile in Spain, Daz decided to switch things up and go really attacking, to the surprise of absolutely no one, and he looks for that Copa del Rey on his 3rd attempt at Barcelona.
Well, Dad, another crack at 2 trophies for me.
Yes.
Because Wolfsburg found themselves in the Europa League. And of course, I still haven't won the DFB-Pokal
No.
with them. The most annoying thing is that they've already done the second round, and I've got Leverkusen away.
That's
Which is really annoying after winning my first round just 2-0. So we beat Freiburg in our opening game of the season. Mönchengladbach we lost 3-2, annoyingly. We've got an okay team here at Wolfsburg. It's not amazing. We've got some decent players. And I have added to that with a couple of talents as well, because some of the players that were coming in already, there was Keskin here, who's joined at the end of his contract. He looks okay as a defensive midfielder. But then I approached Oscar Herrero as a free transfer to come into my midfield. He can play in 3 different positions there. João Marcelo was the guy that I spent £9.5 million on in centre midfield. Again, more of we had a terrible midfield, I'll be honest. And then Eli Shapovalov from Inter Milan, another £9.5 million. He is an Israeli attacking winger, should I say. Can play in both the winger or the wide forward sort of role. I quite like him. He looks very good, to be honest. That flair, agility, etc. We'll see with the dribbling ability. Could be quite good. And we're just sticking in a 4-3-3, to be honest. We're not doing anything silly. 4-3-3s all around. We've got some good players in here. My main striker is Ansa, who is 6'6", bit of a powerhouse, can be quick, also strong, bit of flair about him as well, can finish, maybe not necessarily head, considering he is that big and can jump.
Yeah.
But still, he's got good work rates as well. So not a bad striker, to say the least. Astralaga is also a good goalkeeper for 32. We had a lot of interest in him. Decided to keep hold of him because he's very good. And my wing-back's quite good as well. Kolonga, only 20 years of age. Looks fantastic, really, for my level anyway. Looks a very good player. So we'll see. I haven't started the season very well, but we're going for the DFB-Pokal. We're also going for that Europa League. The Europa League, we're definitely not one of the favourites this time round. However, it's probably an easier Europa League to win this year than what it was last year. The likes of Porto's in there, you can always be tricky. Lazio again's in there. Ajax possibly is probably the best club in there, or the biggest club in there, alongside Porto. So there are some tricky teams in there that might cause us a little bit of trouble. Now, Dad, you've been spending money again.
Yes.
You had £200 million, nearly £300 million to spend. You've bought in 3 players with that. We had a guy who I've had on my shortlist for years because I almost signed him when I was at Napoli. Flavio Freixo from Sporting, 25 years of age now. Great player.
I looked at my team and I thought, right, I'm going to change it again, like you know I was going to. I'm playing more attacking. I'm going more attacking, and I'm setting this guy exactly where it says on that screen there, an attacking midfielder, and you can see why. I mean, he's finishing, he's 16, composure at 20, and he's quick.
Yeah.
The only thing he can't do is head the ball, really. I mean, well, he can head it, but he can't jump very well.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that, though. I don't need him to be in there heading the ball. All I need him to do is from outside the box, getting all of that ball and putting it in the net.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you've also got Roel Pluim from that. Another Manchester United player for 125 million. You've given them a lot of money.
I have given them a lot of money, but I feel that I'm sort of taking some good players.
They just beat you in the Champions League.
Yes, as well, yeah. I felt that I bought a really good right back last season. I didn't have a reserve right back for him that was that good. So this is the guy I bought in for that position. So like I had for last season, 2 really good left backs. I got 2 really good right backs now.
Yeah. So he's 6'5" as well. Great physicals.
He's a monster anyway, so yeah.
You did sell a right back. Or try to anyway.
He was the reserve one I was trying to get rid of. So
and then we've got Lopez as well for £130 million from FC Porto. So I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, because there's a player that's that good at Porto that's now no longer playing in the Europa League.
Yeah.
However, you give them £130 million quite early into the transfer window to spend elsewhere. Jorge-Philippe Rodriguez Lopez.
Like I said, I'm going to play more attacking, especially the 2 midfielders that I had, where they were defensive midfielders. Now I'm going to be playing attacking midfielders, and this guy fits right into that position again.
Oh, you're finally spending money properly. It's only took you this long, but yeah, he is a phenomenal player.
Yep.
Left-footed too, so even better. You mentioned the change. You've dropped him into this DLP position and going the rest of it with sort of a 5 strike force there.
5 up front,
4 at the back.
And I'm not bringing me forwards all the way back. I'm leaving them up there.
Yeah.
And the wingers sort of out wide as well, ready to go. So I'm taking a chance. I'm playing really, really more attacking than I did last season. I'm only after that cup. It's a one-off game now and again, so the only time I get to 2 is a semi-final. I've got to go for it.
At the start of the season, then, let's have a look at your fixtures just to see how you've been getting on. Wins all around so far, but nothing outstanding.
Great. No, the teams that I've beaten, I've only beaten by, well, the first game was 2-0, but the other 2 games was by 1 goal. And I'm a very attacking side. I'd have expected it to be like 4s or 5s in those games.
I thought you would have scored a lot more than that.
So I'm a bit worried, really, that I'm not scoring enough goals. That's my only problem now, I'm thinking. So,
Yeah.
But I'm sticking with it. I've set it up. I'm going for it. I'm sticking.
Only got to win the cup.
I've only got to win the cup.
Well,
yes.
let's find out then. Europa League and the DFB-Pokal for me. The Copa del Rey for Dad. Can any of us pick up a trophy this season? It was tough luck for me in the DFB-Pokal, drawing against Leverkusen in the second round away from home, and they knocked us out 2-0. Dad was getting through the earlier rounds of the Copa del Rey with ease, but it's the 3rd year in a row with a certain Atletico Madrid appearing as their opponents in the quarter-final stage. A good league phase in the Europa League means that we avoid any knockout playoff rounds. However, we were given another tough draw against Porto in the round of 16 and lost both legs 1-0 and are out of that competition too, meaning no trophies have been added to our Glory Hunter cabinet for the last 2 years. So it really meant that Dad needs to take advantage and secure that Copa del Rey, and the quarter-final against Atletico Madrid finally went his way as his Barcelona team scored 2 goals and defended brilliantly, keeping a clean sheet. They also smashed through the semi-finals with a 9-1 win on aggregate over Huesca, but the final meant defeating Real Madrid, and although they aren't the best in the league, it's still an El Clasico final. On this occasion though, Real Madrid were no match for my dad's Barcelona team, who scored within 22 minutes to take the lead, and they dominated throughout the match, scoring a worldie of a second on the half-hour mark by Erling Haaland and securing the third just after the hour with a great counter-attack. And Dad has finally done it and won the Copa del Rey trophy, meaning that's another country complete as well, and he can start searching for the next. With Italy untouched, the Bundesliga to go, and the FA Cup and the Europa League still left for him to win. Right, well done, Dad. Your time at Barcelona is complete. And your time in Spain is done. 3-0 in the Copa del Rey final.
We mentioned that Real Madrid wasn't that strong, and it showed in the final. They were nowhere near as good as what we are.
God, yeah. Battered the league as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a little bit closer to you in the league, but you had won that a long time before that fixture because you started losing games at the end of the season, which is quite funny. But yeah, very good. Well done.
I think did I get knocked out in the Champions League by Spurs? I think it done me a massive favour losing that game, because all of a sudden then it was just I was interested in the cup and the league.
Yeah.
I virtually had the league in the bag, so it was like really concentrate winning the cup, and we done it. We got there.
Yeah, because that would have been played in between the semi-final fixtures.
And I would have been a bit worried there, because obviously I was playing Real Madrid twice. And, and I was thinking, I was praying to lose the league game, to be honest, and win the cup game. But I won both, so I'm happy with that.
Well, yeah, there you go. If we're looking at, obviously, how your team played, 28 goals from Erling Haaland from... obviously how good he was the last couple of seasons. Last season he got 23 and 12. This season 20 in total. We didn't look at the goals last season.
He was only signing a yearly contract as well. So thank you very much. How old is he now? 36. Done the business. Thank you.
And he is leaving to PSG.
So yeah.
28 goals from Flavio Freixo as well, who's your new signing from Sporting. That seemed to be quite a good deal there.
Yeah.
Ranieri having a great season with 18 and 25. But yeah, it's time to leave this club.
Yes.
We've both had fantastic times at Barcelona. Took you 2 more seasons than it did me.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
But you still got the job done eventually. And what's next? Well, I will also probably be leaving Wolfsburg, because unfortunately for me, although they did finish in the Europa League, so it's kind of a tempting scenario where it's like, well, they're in Europa League, you still got to win the DFB-Pokal. You might as well stick around, Luke. But they're not very good.
It's the only problem, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not very good. And to be honest, I can't see... I mean, they give us £72 million. I might be able to do something with that. Do I build on this? The trouble is, like...
a few players you could sell as well.
Yeah, they're like... The trouble is their best players are sort of... They're wanted already. I don't know whether I'm going to lose them. I don't know. So it's tempting to stick around and build something. I've got the years to do it, and I've got the advantage just above you by, I think, 1 whole country to do it. Yeah, I don't know, because you've still got to go to Italy. You've still got to go back to both Germany and England.
Yes.
So...
I mean, I'm not worried about going back to those 2 countries, because it's sort of like... I can handle those because it does me really bad sometimes. Doesn't it? I've really just got to pray that I can just get in there, get a job done, and get out again. But I've got to wait for the right team to come up. So,
speaking of which, there are a few very interesting clubs there, and the reason why I was sort of like, well, I might be going, is because of that Manchester United job. They're in 6th place. They've just won the Champions League the season before, remember?
Yeah.
They beat you in the final. You gave them a crap ton of money. And 6th place is a Europa League spot. However, if you're going for it too, you've got to get the FA Cup and the Europa League.
Yeah, I've got a good reason to go there. I'm up to 2 trophies, didn't I?
So, but Inter Milan is there. And of course, you need to win the Italian league.
Yes, I do, yeah.
And out of all of the clubs that are in that Italian league, Inter Milan is the team that you want to get. They've got the best team. They're losing Tchouaméni, but the rest of their team is unbelievable. They got some cracking players. Palhinha there looks really good. Kenneth Eichhorn is only 27 years of age. He's phenomenal. Ronaldo Rodriguez, very good player there.
Two really good strikers, isn't it?
They've got some fantastic players on their side. Jamal Musiala is only 34, so he's still good for a couple of years. So there's obviously some options for you, Dad.
Yeah.
You've got to make some tough decisions. Even Frankfurt's there, but they're in 10th. I could go to them and waste a season to try and win the cup, but go back from where I started. But there we go. Manchester United, Inter Milan, or Wolfsburg. I don't know. I definitely obviously ain't going to hit Inter Milan, but there's definitely 2 clubs there that you should be applying for.
And I could also just sit and see who else pops up, because there's bound to be a top manager go to Barcelona.
Well, that's also why I'm thinking I might wait, because if the PSG manager goes to Barcelona, then that's another option for me too. If we're looking at, obviously, PSG manager previously, Arne Slot moved from Barcelona, and now it's Unai Emery, who of course was the Manchester United boss.
Yeah.
So he's not afraid of moving around, as you can see. He's moved around quite a few times and took the PSG job fairly recently too. So yeah, will that become available? We'll have to keep our eyes open for that. But yes, Dad, you've got to add a trophy to your cabinet.
Come on.
And of course, you need to stick around and smash that subscribe button, because you don't want to miss what happens next in Glory Hunter. And it's been a bad couple of years for me as I gambled going to Arsenal and Wolfsburg, chasing the Europa League, only to fail miserably at both. Meanwhile, my dad finally lifted the Copa del Rey at Barcelona, complete in Spain, and allowing him to move on this summer. With his trophy cabinet looking rather good, with only 5 trophies left to win, which of course is just one behind me now, as I spent 2 years adding absolutely nothing. So with that, Dad resigns from Barcelona and his time in Spain is done. And 2 jobs stood out immediately for him, as Manchester United and Inter Milan were both available, and where both clubs could be shooting for 2 trophies. I decided to not resign from Wolfsburg, but I was still interested, and I applied for the Manchester United role myself. And while I was offered to come in and be interviewed, Dad received the same offer for both of the clubs that he applied for. Deciding before the United board even made up their mind who they chose, that he would accept the offer at Inter Milan, which actually benefited me, because I was then offered the job in Manchester, for which I happily accepted. And with both of us adding to an already very decent side, I of course was back and after the Europa League for the 3rd time of asking, while Dad was going for both domestic trophies in Italy, a country historically he's really struggled in. Right, well, we both moved this summer.
Yes.
I'm back in the Premier League for like my 4th time, I think. This time with Manchester United, for no other reason than this, the Europa League. And I think I stand a good chance, because this is a very good Manchester United team.
I'm worried about that one.
And AC Milan seems to be really the only big team in there, but we've seen that they haven't done that well lately either. This Manchester United team is absolutely mustard, so I'm really happy to be able to do that and switch to this team. And I had a little bit of money too to spend, so I did bring in a couple of players. There was already some players that were joining the club, including Kusanov and Pereira. I didn't really have a hand in that. Eduardo Pereira came in. I mean, to be honest, a very good player, but yeah, he came in and was really good. I spent my money on these 2. So we've got Sibia from Bayern Munich for £109 million, world-class centre-back, very good player indeed.
Yeah, isn't he? Yeah.
Happy with that one.
God almighty.
And then we've got David from Flamengo on the 1st week of August. Goalkeeper.
Really good.
unbelievable goalkeeper for £7 million. I sold a player that they've got here for Gaston Gaitan for £28 million. So actually, he went before I joined as well. And Philip Jorgensen also left to go to AC Milan on a free transfer, which is the reason why I needed the goalkeeper, because we didn't have anybody that was decent, really. If we're looking at the goalkeepers that were already there, Aaron Perez was the only half good one, nowhere near what we needed. So David comes in. Yes, that's exactly what we needed. So I've got one season to win the Europa League again, at the third time of asking.
This is probably your best chance with the team that you got as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the best chance of the team I got, but also the teams that are left in the competition. Because there are some fantastic players in this team. We've got Monga, who looks like a really good winger. He's fantastic, Jeremy Monga. And we've also got, of course, Rodrigo Mora, who is one of the world's best attacking midfielders in the game. Del Pieri is a very good attacking midfielder or right midfielder, so I'm happy with that. And De Leon up front is amazing, Martin De Leon. So really good, really happy with him. And we got Williams Barnett, of course, former Spurs player, who's been in and around. He can play there too. Kobe Mainoo's in there. We've got OK defence outside of that. Delgado is the other centre-back. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm happy. And in terms of how we've started the season, although it doesn't really matter, has done quite well. We drew with Arsenal, my old team, but they've got a good team. Beat Ipswich, beat Middlesbrough, beat Brentford in the Cup. We've got Europa League fixtures come up. We've got to play AC Milan, so it's one of the hardest teams in there. We've already got to play them. Dad, you went to Inter Milan.
Yes.
3 seasons at Barcelona.
Yeah.
You applied for both Manchester United and Inter Milan.
The Milan job came up, so I was straight in there.
Yeah, because that's a brand new country for you. You've already, of course, won the league in England, but you're chasing the FA Cup.
Yeah, I am,
with Europa League, of course. So if you did go there, you would have had 2 trophies as well to go for. But Inter Milan seems to make sense.
The team that Inter Milan have still got there at this present moment, I think I would have been an idiot to turn it down. Yeah. It's worth taking the gamble to go in there with the team that they've actually got now. So, And they give me such a big budget as well. Money. So,
because you joined with Paul Kabasi joining the club for £71 million. So that's really good. Yeah. Good signing there from you. Adams Chuk from Napoli comes in as another centre-back option. Then we've got Kylian Antonio, £32 million from Real Madrid. We got Arietta again from Real Madrid, £103 million. There's another world-class centre-back right there.
So I've just made the 2 centre-backs really, really solid with a good reserve centre-back as well. So that's where obviously I thought their weakness was.
Yeah, Venezuelan player, love that. 25 years of age. And then finally, Victor Middleton on a free transfer has joined the club. That's not you. That's more of an assistant, I think.
Yeah, but 16 years of age, I wouldn't have got him in, would I?
No, so a few players have left the club that you have got rid of, but let's have a look at how you're lined up and the team that you have got, because this is a very good team.
Yes.
The best 11 pick, you can see some of the key players already. Jamal Musiala is still here. He is world class still, 34 years of age. Idumbo looks really good. Another world class player. Yeah. I know he's 32 and Musiala's 34, but if you're only spending 1 or 2 seasons here, you don't have to worry about it.
Attacking midfielder, really good.
Carestas.
Yes.
Then we've got Palhinha up front. He's fantastic.
Hence why I haven't bought any forward.
Good. Yeah, Portuguese player. Tom Bischoff, who's in that centre midfield slot alongside Kenneth Eichhorn. So 28 years of age there. He looks fantastic. Arietta is the centre-back alongside Paul Kabasi, which he just signed, of course.
Yep.
So that's your 2 centre-back. Rock was one that was already joining when you signed. He is fantastic.
Done me a big favour getting him in as well, didn't they?
So that was a free transfer from Villarreal as well.
What a signing that was.
Great player. And I think really your only weakness is your right back.
Yes,
Mark Pugh, but he's not exactly terrible. And you got Owusu Adoro in goal, who's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So a fantastic team.
I just think I've inherited a really good team. Just added a couple of players to it. So fingers crossed these guys really do it. So I'm looking forward to this season in Italy. I've had no problems with any foreign players coming in.
Non-EU rule,
Every player I've signed is able to play. So happy days.
3-0 against Juventus as well.
That's a good result, yes.
Bit of a starting point there.
Yep.
and a win against Parma.
The Parma game is always one of those funny. They can be a good team or a bad team. It all depends, when you catch them, really. But
evens to win the league. And look how many players you've got in there: Musiala, Carestas, Polinia, Icon, Arietta, Rock, your goalkeeper.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be.
I couldn't ask for it better. I've just hoped that sort of I can.
Bale's still there. Look,
I don't want to do anything silly and lose a silly cup game or something like that.
That's the trouble.
Yes.
The cup.
Yeah, it is.
I think you'll easily just wipe the floor with the league.
Yeah.
You got easily the best team. I think it's the cup that you might struggle with.
I usually struggle with one of them tonight. So I'm quite, like you say, I'm quite confident with the league. I feel that I've definitely got one of the best teams in the league, but possibly the best. But it always that silly little cup games that you lose, really, innit? Sort of, you come up against one of the other stronger boys and you lose silly games.
I mean, if you do win this and I don't win the Europa League, the pressure that then puts on in terms of competitions and trophies, because then you've only got to win the Europa League, FA Cup,
and one in Germany,
so that's 3 left. I would only have 3 left.
Yeah.
Because I've only got to win
one in Germany.
Oh no, I've got 4 left.
Have you?
Because I ain't gone to France yet.
Oh yes.
I ain't gone to France at all. So if you do win both here, you overtake me. Pressure is on now. Let's see what happens this season then. Come on.
Dad's league campaign in Italy has been a breeze in his first season, and he has been sailing at the top of the league from the beginning, sitting top by a mile and unbeaten, drawing only 2 fixtures as well. Not that it mattered too much, but I was doing the same in the Premier League with Manchester United. More importantly was my form in the Europa League, and by the end of the league phase of the competition, there was certainly a smile on my face. Getting through in the top 8, winning 7 games and drawing 1. Dad found himself in the Coppa Italia semi-final after defeating Lecce in the quarters, and it was a cagey 1-1 draw with Atalanta in the first leg in Bergamo. Meanwhile, I was knocking Real Sociedad out of the Europa League round of 16 7-1 on aggregate, and it's off to Lille next. Dad was still 13 points clear in the league table, so with 18 games left, the title was still in sight. That meant the pressure was off for the second leg of the Coppa Italia, and that's when Dad's Inter blasted Atalanta 7-2 at home on the night to go through to the final. The following match in the league against Lecce was a big win too, as the 3-0 victory crowned Dad champions of Italy, and that's another trophy to add to his glory hunter cabinet. With Lille defeated 4-3 on aggregate in the quarter-finals of the Europa League, it was off to Denmark now to face Nordsjælland, where we defeated them in the first leg 3-0 to give us big hopes of making the final. Like Dad though, we also won our Premier League campaign at a canter, but no extra trophy was added for our cabinet for that. However, also like Dad, we made it to the cup final that we would indeed put a trophy in our cabinet as we defeated Nordsjælland once again. Dad's final was first, and he faces my old Napoli side with some recognisable names still in there that could definitely cause him some trouble. One of them being Alberto, who linked up with another Vitor Roque who could cause Dad trouble, and they scored right on the half-hour mark. Dad's side still played well and took the lead on 2 occasions, but it was no good. This game was going to a penalty shootout, and after 4 penalties each was scored, Napoli's 5th was saved by Dad's goalkeeper, meaning a Dumbo just needed to score his, and Inter would be Coppa Italia winners, which is exactly what he did. And in just 1 season, Dad has completed Italy. The Inter Milan job coming up was perfectly timed, and a well-executed season means what's usually his worst country to complete is over in a flash. Over to me then. And on my 3rd direct attempt at the Europa League, I have to defeat Real Betis, who are a tricky team, but one that I should still be defeating, especially given how well our league form has been. We took the lead and even doubled it quite early on into the match, and by the half-hour mark, you'd have thought this one was already all over. But Real Betis came back firing in the second half to make it uneasy for us, and on the hour mark they made it 2-1. And at this point, the game could go either way. Thankfully for us though, we got ourselves going again and bagged a 3rd. But the score eventually finished 4-2 to Manchester United. So finally we got the job done, something we couldn't do at either Arsenal or Wolfsburg. But 3rd time lucky, I am lifting the Europa League and adding that to my glory hunter cabinet.
Well, I got the job done, thankfully, because you did win the 2
Yes.
in Italy.
Put the pressure right on you then.
So now we are basically on the same amount of trophies still to win. I've got to do 2 in France, and I've got to do 1 in Germany. You've got the 1 in Germany, the FA Cup, and the Europa League. Which I think is an advantage to me.
Yes.
Because I've only got 2 countries, whereas you've got 2 countries and a European Cup. So I think there's definitely an advantage to me.
I think the European Cup, the Europa League is the hardest one to win because you've got to find the team that's in that.
Yeah.
And if you don't take over a team at the beginning of the season, you just got to hope that team comes available that's still in it.
That's true.
And being good enough.
Yeah. I walked the floor with this. This was a great Man United team. 15 points clear at the Premier League.
Yeah.
And the season before, they were nowhere near the Premier League. They were down in 6th place. 3rd the season before that. So they have not had the team to do so. And that was the Arsenal team, of course, that I was at previously a couple of seasons ago. They had a very good team. Completely wiped the floor of the league. 90 points. I'm buzzing with that. But it is time to go. But Dad, you will also be leaving Italy.
In one
fell swoop. One season
19
done.
points.
19 points
117 goals. That strike force was phenomenal.
Jeez, the defence too.
Yes.
Only conceded 29 goals.
I just spent like 200 million on the defence, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that had to be good.
But it was only just in the Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
And it was down to a penalty shootout, which went down to the final penalty as well, with Dumbo scoring that penalty to lift it. But it doesn't matter how you win it.
That's right.
The fact is that you did
on the
win
cup
it.
would be my name, so that's it.
Yeah.
Well, Inter Milan's name, so yeah, that's it. Job
Off
done.
You go. So, you're looking for 2 countries and the Europa League. I'm looking for 2 countries. What is available? For the FA Cup, you've got Spurs to go back to. They're in 7th place. 7th place is currently not going to be a Europa League spot.
Such a shame, innit? Such a shame, but
yet, anyway.
It could still be worth jumping in there to get the FA Cup done.
Yeah.
It gives me a good chance for the FA Cup, at least, anyway, really.
Yeah. There is no Europa League team in there right now. Insecure, hilariously, is Barcelona, the team that you just left.
Yeah.
Because they somehow didn't win the league with that team that you built.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
What were they doing there? Girona won the league.
By a point.
Girona. Jesus.
Wow.
So fair play to them.
Man, when you remember, I was trying to buy certain players and it was always Girona that had the players.
Yeah, they were good.
And they weren't releasing them, were they? So, yeah.
Juve is another one that's insecure. They finished in 16th.
Whoa. That's bad.
16th place, Juventus. I've never seen them finish that low. That's mental.
God.
Only 4 points above relegation. So no Europa League spots.
No.
Unfortunately, by the looks of it. And nowhere for me to go. Because, of course, I'm looking for Germany. I'm looking for France. No French or German teams there at all. Or even insecure.
That's where it could be worth me sort of like just jumping in quickly with Spurs. Have a go at the FA Cup while you're still struggling.
Yeah, while we're still waiting.
Yeah.
Of course, you could go to Manchester United.
I could do. Yeah, I could do.
So that's another one. All right, well, let's add some trophies to our trophy cabinets then, in our Glory Hunt cabinets, while I hope for a big job in France to arrive.
With the Europa League added, it's just France and Germany left for me to complete, while Dad evens the trophies to just 3 himself, but possibly the harder of the 3 to complete. So of course, once again, we are both resigning from our clubs, looking for whatever is out there to target our missing trophies. Dad applied for and was offered both the United job as I left and the Spurs job for him, and it was an easy decision. And while I watched him spend over £500 million on new players, I sat there waiting for a job that never came up, as Dad looks forward to the FA Cup.
Well, you had the pick of the bunch, both Manchester United and Spurs, and you chose Spurs.
Yes.
I mean, you have made some silly decisions in your life. This is up there.
Well, some of you are going to look at that and think, oh, what a bad decision it is. Spurs are in Europe. Man United are in Europe. Spurs are not in Europe.
Yeah.
To me, they're going to put their priorities in the Champions League and not in the FA Cup.
Yeah, you don't need to win the Premier League either.
No, I only want to win the FA Cup. So, I'm only in the league and the 2 cups, really. I could be out of the...
You're out of the Carabao Cup already.
I'm out of the Carabao Cup by Man United, so that sort of like kicked me in the ass. But then that sort of does me a big favour, I feel.
Yeah, less competitions again.
I've gone for Spurs. I just couldn't pull myself to put the Man United shirt on. I wanted the Spurs shirt again. So been there before. Still got a few good players there. Still got a good team. I felt. Still got a good chance for the FA Cup.
You sold quite a few players too.
Yes.
Endrick's left. You sold him to Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Nioni is also left. Trey Nioni. Matteo Pereira few players going out, and you spent £160 million on your Arietta centre-back from Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Bringing him with you.
Yes. Well, he done such a good job at Inter Milan. I thought, right, let's get him in.
Yeah.
We have the best defence in the league, so hopefully he can do it again.
Yeah, he's following you around now, so that's nice. Then we got another £112 million on Walter Andrade from Benfica. We are looking at another striker here, so Endrick's position.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Endrick might have just been better just to keep Endrick, in my opinion.
I'm just looking at he's a young lad as well, so...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're only for one season. Endrick would have just been better.
He's going to be fitter. He's got 18 finish, which was better than Endrick, I think.
Slower, though. Uri Alvarez, £40 million. He's a better player than the last one. You only spent £40 million on him from Spain. He's a right winger, though. Very good player. Then we've got Josh Townsend from Mulder for £13 million. So more of just an option there at right wing back. Jose Cedinho. Again, another right back. I'm guessing you were low on right backs because you signed loads of them. But this is a familiar guy because, of course, he used to be my player. Then you signed him at Barcelona. So he was my player at Spurs.
Yeah.
You signed him at Barcelona. Then you signed him again at Spurs.
Yeah.
So he has come back to Spurs for the second time, and both times he's been signed by somebody different. So Obi Aloren Waju has come back to one of us again, the left-footed centre-back. He's one of the best left-footed centre-backs in the game.
I'm just hoping
that's very good.
That's made my defence really rock solid, I feel now.
Yeah. And then the final player from Rennes, Zhao, for £83 million. So it's another striker that you're bringing in.
I've got to make the second team really good as well, because if I get any injuries and they want to rest players for cups and all that, this is what happens. So that's what I've tried to do, make two really good, strong teams.
Okay.
And that's what I think I've done now.
Yeah, so we've got a 4-3-3, which drops into a 4-1-4-1. Andrade up there. We've got Mikey Moore on the left. Alvarez there on the right, which is good. The midfield is still unbelievable. You've got Tyron Doki in there.
23 as well.
Who is...
Wow.
He's probably the best player in the world, I would say.
He's got to be quick.
He's got to be, surely.
It,
I mean, they signed him a few seasons ago from PSV for £75 million. Talk about value for money. I think he must be the best midfielder in the world. Then you got Valentini, who is probably shouting, going, "No, I'm the best midfielder in the world." Because actually, yeah, he's better.
Yeah.
27 years of age. He was there when I was there. £107 million from AC Milan. What a player. What a player he is.
Just look at that. So the defence I've got is really good. Midfield I've got is really good. And going forward is really good.
Yeah. João Neves is still there.
In between them all as well. Look.
Yeah. Dennis Seaman, who you signed for them, is there. He's still there. So a very good team. How have you started off the season outside of being knocked out of the Carabao Cup? A few good results in the league where we got a loss at Burnley and a draw to Liverpool. So not so much, maybe.
No, it's not looking...
Beating Fulham, beating Brentford.
But then I'm not worried about the league.
No. But it's a sign of what you have to come.
When January comes, middle of December, then
that's when you got to lock in.
That's when I got to really be playing well then. Yep. Hopefully. Right. Fingers crossed. FA Cup. Come on.
FA Cup for you. Just finding a club for me. I'm still waiting to find something. There's nothing available just yet. Probably won't see anything for a while. So let's find out where I end up and how Dad gets on. With the FA Cup not starting until January, the first bit of news was that a job came in December at Lille. Their manager had taken the Real Betis job in Spain and they were doing well, sat in fourth and still in the Coupe de France. They offered me an interview and soon after the job itself as I looked to begin my time in France in the new year. They even had a bit of money and in January I signed a new striker for just £2.3 million and he is an absolute stud of a player. But of course, with January here, Dad's journey in the FA Cup begins too, and he gets through the early rounds. And he was also top of the Premier League with Spurs in a title race with Manchester United. With my second striker, I decided to go very attacking with my system in France, trying to utilise all the decent attacking players that Lille have. And so far, it's helped us defeat Monaco in the league and go through 2 rounds of the Cup as well. So I think it's doing quite well. A big win in the quarterfinals came against Rennes, which I was happy with, as I then followed it with a 3-1 win in the semi-final against Reims.
But there's some great news too, because Nantes defeated PSG in the other semi-final, meaning we have a much easier final to play. Dad finally reached the semi-final of the FA Cup thanks to a penalty shootout win over Arsenal, where my former star man Nathan missed the decider. But the semi-final against Brentford was a much easier task, and his Spurs side were on hot form, and they destroyed them 5-2 at Wembley to take them to the FA Cup final, which meant they were on for the double, as they also sailed to the Premier League title too. With Dad's final being played against Everton, he certainly fancied his chances of completing England. And at the exact same time on the same day, I was in for a tougher matchup in my cup final against Nantes. Within 10 minutes, Dad's Spurs was ahead, and the momentum for them just didn't stop there. They doubled their lead and continued to dominate the match from the 26th minute, and it was soon all over after that. Dad's side got the job done, winning 6-1, and it's another trophy ticked off. Meanwhile, in France, my game plan was in trouble as we received a straight red card in 42 minutes. Somehow, we still took it to a penalty shootout with the score being 0-0, but then we also began missing penalties too, something that Nantes players weren't doing as they found the net each time, and our luck was out when Moscardo missed a second penalty for Lille. And unfortunately for us, we couldn't catch up to Dad, who has now gone one more trophy ahead of us in his Glory Hunter cabinet. And as the FA Cup is added, it's just the Bundesliga and Europa League still for him to obtain.
Well, it's misery for me in my Lille job. Losing on penalties to Nantes, 0-0 as well in the fixture. And I was only had 10 men. But it's worse when like two of your players in the first 3 penalties miss it. And you're like, oh, come on, what are we doing here, boys? And it makes it worse because you've gone on and won the FA Cup. And the league, by the way. Absolutely stormed the league. But won the FA Cup 5-2 against Brentford in the final. The midfielders really stepping up. Valentini got a hat-trick. And Doku got one as well. So, big result.
Done the business.
Yeah.
Won the league easily as well. So, it proved that I was the best team in the league and go on and win the cup as well. Oh, it's just a Brucey bonus. I'm really chuffed now.
Yeah.
I can get away from England now. Ooh, what does that put me now? So, I'm after
Europa League.
And the German
Bundesliga.
Oh, so I'm only after 2 now.
Yeah. So, you have now overtook me.
God, the pressure's on you now.
Yeah, you have overtook me. I've got to win the 2 in France still, and I've got to win the DFB-Pokal.
I mean, you're in France, and you done well to get to the cup final, I think.
Yeah, the team I've got is not bad, to be honest.
To get to the cup final in your first season, I'm not sure when you did take over, but it was...
December.
Yeah, so it wasn't easy to get to where you did.
No. They've got some okay players, and the signing that I made, oh, this guy's phenomenal. He looks absolutely amazing. How much did you pay for that one striker?
160 million, was
112 million pound it was. Yeah. He's nowhere near as good as this guy. Nowhere near as good. 2.3 million. Yeah. 13 goals in 16 appearances for Lille. And 4 assists. He's amazing.
He's probably put you into the cup final. He's probably just pushed you all the way.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. We only got him in January, and he played absolutely astounding for us. He was so good. So I'm buzzing to hopefully be able to keep him for another year. Plus, he's only 21.
Yeah.
Keep him for another year. We've got Mastan Tuono there. We've got some decent players there that we can build around. I went balls to the wall with it in terms of the tactic, trying to really go for it. It got us into the cup final. Just couldn't get over the line. How do we not score in the cup final with this, by the way? Crazy. Because another striker, O'Dane Smith, is quite good too.
Yeah.
So we've got a good strike force. Just can't believe we didn't get it over the line. But there we go. So right now, I don't know what I'm going to do. But Dad, you're leaving.
I've got to leave now.
Yeah, you'll be going from Spurs.
Spurs won't be in the Europa League next season, so they're no good to me.
In terms of clubs available, Liverpool are available, but only in 10th. Wolfsburg in 13th. So, I mean, if you're going for the Bundesliga, Wolfsburg's not really an option there.
Yeah, nothing there for me at the moment.
So, are you going to be sitting back, waiting?
I've got to sit back. I've just got to sit back and wait.
To see who takes Spurs job, see who takes Liverpool job. Could be one of those.
Yeah. You just wait for the merry-go-round, as we call it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Someone big's got to come in because Liverpool are a good side. Spurs are just done the double.
Yeah.
So there's got to be 2 good managers coming in, and hopefully it could be one of the big ones from Germany.
Your perfect scenario would be Leipzig.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Europa League football and one of the good teams.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So they got some alright players too. If Leipzig come up, could be game over.
Yep.
Could be game over. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss what happens. But we've got another trophy to add to a Glory Hunter cabinet. And it's not my cabinet, it's Dad's.
And after trailing me for so long, Dad's trips to Barcelona and Inter Milan have helped him. He's won multiple trophies to catch up with how full my cabinet was. And while I finally lifted the Europa League trophy with United at the third time of asking, Dad's been at Spurs in the FA Cup means he now only has 2 trophies to win. Well, I'm still chasing 3 as I failed to win the Coupe de France, losing in the cup final on penalties. So with Dad resigning, he is looking for another job and hopefully one in Germany. And the Frankfurt job did become available, but was unfortunately not there to be applied for. The merry-go-round worked in one of our favours though, as Tuchel left Atletico for Spurs and Emery took the Atletico job, leaving PSG. And I was straight in there applying for the role, as it's an upgrade from Lille. They then gave me an interview, and just before the new season started, I was named as the new PSG manager.
Wow, how the tables have turned. Last time you had a free shot, this time it could be me.
Yeah.
And the luck is on my side.
Oh, I just can't believe.
Come on, PSG.
Come on. How often do they come up? I know they come up for me, but this is bad timing for me now.
Yeah, so Unai Emery left the managerial role to go to Atletico Madrid. And the reason why that happened, if we're looking at their club history and their manager history, Thomas Tuchel has just left because he took over the Spurs job.
Yeah.
It writes itself. The manager merry-go-round strikes again. Dad leaves Spurs. Tuchel leaves Atletico. Unai Emery leaves PSG. I come in. Hallelujah. The Lille manager takes the PSG job. And again, this team is fantastic. Now, what was weird about this was every time I went on my recruitment, it would only give me like 60 million at a time. But the wage that they were giving me was like 2 million available. But I couldn't up it. So
No.
all I could do each time was sign a player for roughly 80 million. And then every time they would sign, adjust the budget. Sign another one, adjust the budget. So I couldn't sign anybody world class. What I could do was just bring in loads of fairly decent players, which is exactly what I've done. So a lot of these signings I didn't do, but some of them I did. So I think I did from Caesar upwards. Those are the ones that I did. And you can see a lot of them, 20 million, 30 million, because I couldn't spend the money as like I would really want to. So I've got Cesar from Rennes, who's a good right-back option. Needed a right-back in there. João Regio from Inter Milan was a good left-back option. Again, not amazing, but is all I could potentially get. Olivier Boone, who I quite like, to be honest, and he scored in his debut. £30 million, decent right winger that we've picked up there from Belgium. Adam Andrews, £37 million, needed a good goalkeeper. I actually think he's quite decent, to be fair. Then we got Leonardo Caceres, again from Arsenal, £58 million. I'm using your tactic of signing Arsenal players. Centre-back or centre midfielder, very good player indeed. Then we've got Diabate from Roma, £80 million was the most I could spend on a player. A decent centre defensive midfielder. But this squad, they do have a world-class centre mid, and I'm just playing a standard 4-3-3 in and out of possession, not changing too much. In this guy here, Olivier Sueur, who looks really good. You had 2 world-class centre midfielders last year.
Yeah.
I'd say he's the step below them, really. We got some good players, not amazing players. This PSG side
that's quite a weak
dropped
side.
off.
Yeah,
it has dropped off. The strikers, okay, he's not amazing. They've also got a decent left midfielder in Saeed Al-Mala, who's, again, good, not great,
No.
I guess. They've got Maita, who can also play up front. He looks quite good, but again, not world class. So we are struggling a little bit, but we do have what I think is a good enough side to win the league and win the cup. Hopefully within one season. And we are top of the league already. We have lost a game, but we've won 4 of them too. So the game that we actually lost, you can see, was the first game of the season. So that was a bit worrying against Lorient. But after that, we beat Nantes, Rennes, Metz and Paris all by 1 goal. So not exactly convincing.
No, they're not convincing. You could easily lose at one of your cup games, really, because you're still in the Champions League as well. So
Yeah.
all your eggs are going to go elsewhere, aren't they? Really.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I'm pushing on for it.
Bit of luck. You lose a silly game in the cup.
Speaking of luck, you need some luck. Because no clubs came up for you this time round.
No, I think the only one that sort of I could have really looked at would have been, was it Frankfurt they came available?
Frankfurt came available, but you couldn't apply.
No.
It's weird. It's one of those ones, again, which you just didn't quite know what was happening.
No, so, and they were where were they? Further down in the league, weren't they, as well?
Well, they are
anyway,
anyway. But
so they're not doing very well. So I don't understand why they wouldn't let me apply for the job.
No, but it was pre-season, obviously, why you couldn't apply, because it was in the middle, wasn't it? But in the middle of the summer. But they haven't started very well. The manager history, Steven Burgess, took over. He was previously the Leicester manager. So what I'm thinking happened was they sacked or left, this guy here left to take over at AC Milan, which we've seen was available.
Yeah.
And they had already lined up Steven Burgess, and you just couldn't apply.
Nope.
Which, again, it's annoying, but it's what it is.
It's their loss, all right, I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Their loss. I could have took you to the championship. So, right, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, but I'm waiting, and I'm looking for a top German side not to be doing well.
Leipzig is obviously the one that you really want.
Yeah, and Dortmund are not doing very well at the moment.
No.
They're down in 8th, so...
Only 3 games, though.
It's only 3 games, yeah, but that's what I need them to be there or thereabouts, but not doing too well.
Yeah.
And they might sort of like jump ship quickly and sack the manager, and I could jump running, couldn't I? But
in terms of other clubs that would be available in the Europa League, it's hard to see. So it looks like Burnley was in there. Don't really want Burnley, I guess. I don't know whether any of these ended up in the Europa League. It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell really until the season gets going, is it really?
Yeah.
But then you only need one of them to be having a bad season but are in the Europa League.
Yeah.
And then I've got a chance of jumping in.
So this is an easier way of looking at it. It hasn't started yet. So you're looking at it. We don't have Ajax available. Monaco is one.
Yeah.
Aston Villa is another one there.
Yeah.
Atalanta. But then you hate, you hate Italy.
Chelsea's
really
the
big one.
Yeah, Chelsea's a really good one for me. I could jump into there quick.
I think Chelsea's the best option
are there as well. So
yeah, we know about Leipzig being there, but I think Chelsea in terms of being the best team is probably the one. Or then of course Leipzig kills 2 birds with 1 stone because you're in the German league then, so you can try and win the Europa League and the Bundesliga all in one fell swoop.
Yeah,
because once you've done that, that's story hunter complete for you.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, let's see what happens. We need something to happen for Dad to get another job, and I need to get the job done in France, which would leave only 1 trophy for me. And that, again, is in Germany.
Problems in Paris because we were struggling domestically as Nice first off gave us our 2nd loss, scoring an equaliser late on and then 2 goals after the 93rd minute to win the game. I thought the trickiest tie would be Marseille, who are battling us for the league title. However, when we played them, we smashed them 4-0. They were still top of the league though because we kept dropping points through draws. Dad's eyes finally perked up because Aston Villa became available, and although they are sat bottom of the Premier League by mid-November, they are in the Europa League and are doing alright in the competition as well. And they were right on the phone to bring Dad in for an interview for the role. And in no time, he was offered the job at Aston Villa, and this team is far too good to be sat where they are in the Premier League. They have some great players, including Felipe at fullback. Also an amazing Zidane Bedoya, who's a cracking attacking midfielder, as well as 34-year-old Kobbie Mainoo, who still is a great playmaker for his level. And in January, Dad signed 2 players, including a really quick centre-back from Denmark for just £11 million, as well as a left-sided centre-back from Liverpool for £40 million, who again improves his defence quite a bit. And with his setup being slightly tweaked from the Spurs team he left recently, the results started to improve for Villa, including smashing a very good Ajax team in the final of the Europa League phase to finish in the top 8 and skip that knockout playoff round. Back in France though, and a couple of months later, we are still competing with Marseille for the top spot, despite our form improving domestically. We're still only a point in it, 2/3 into the season, but only 3 losses still. In the Coupe de France though, our form was much better as we sailed through to the semi-final, defeating Nantes in that semi-final to play for the Coupe de France trophy for the 2nd year in a row. Meanwhile, Dad in the Europa League blasted past Ajax again in the round of 16 to then beat Monaco across 2 legs in the quarters 4-1, to go on to face PSV, where a trip to Eindhoven was a good one, winning 2-1 in the first leg. My away fixture with Marseille in the league was another title-leading match, and we managed to once again come away with the 3 points. And still, with 3 games left remaining and a game in hand, Marseille are giving us a tough time at the top of Ligue 1. After beating Lyon, we then drew 0-0 to Guingamp, but luckily for us, Auxerre defeated Marseille, meaning on the final day we have to better their result while playing Rennes, who are sat in 3rd place, to lift the title. Back in England though, and Dad's Villa side overcome PSV in the home fixture to win 6-2 on aggregate. With Dad's final against mine still to come, our focus went to the Rennes fixture, and with us being away from home against 3rd place, I expected a difficult match. However, we went out and put on a solid performance, defeating Rennes 3-0, scoring 2 goals before half-time and controlling the fixture really well. And that was the first job done, completing our first part of France with the cup final against Lyon to play next, as PSG are league champions of Ligue 1. Straight into the Lyon game 5 days later, and if we win this, we can leave France, and we have just 1 trophy left to get in Germany. And it didn't take us long after having a few unlucky matches for the first half, and just 20 minutes on the clock, we found the opening goal. Second half, and still with it being 1-0, another chance this time set up by Desiree Doué was slotted away, and we held on for the domestic double. The second trophy won in France, and now we can leave PSG and go on hunt for our final trophy, putting pressure on Dad, who now has his own important final to win. Dad knows he needs to win this, a big opportunity to level the trophies again, and without this win, it could be over for him in terms of Glory Hunter. He's just got to beat Mainz. However, things didn't start very well for Dad and Villa, as they conceded a penalty and found themselves 1-0 down quite early on. They weren't slow pulling things back though, and they levelled themselves with a goal on the 16th minute. Just 10 minutes later, they were celebrating taking the lead. The next goal would be a crucial one that could turn the game either way depending on who scored it. And thankfully for Dad and Aston Villa, it was his side who found the goal in the second half to win the game 3-1. The hardest trophy to win in Glory Hunter at times, and Dad has managed to come to a team halfway through the season with them sat bottom of the Premier League and turn things around to lift a European title.
Oh, you spawny
I
bloke.
took them over when they were bottom of the league.
They were bottom of the league.
You know, I just come in, just done my business. Chuck the Europa League. What a bit of luck
3-1
that was,
in
eh?
the Europa
Oh
League.
my God.
The hero of Aston Villa. Only managed to get them to 12. That's how bad they were doing.
Yeah, they were.
At the start when
I
you
bet they're
took
going to
them
be
over.
happy with that, though.
God,
Mid-table,
yeah. Champions
survive.
League football.
Yeah, Champions League football as well. Come on. Get in.
Unbelievable.
Done the biz. First season, in and out.
Mine's in the final as well. I mean, semi-final you knocked
need-
out PSV.
You need a little bit
Chelsea
of
is,
luck on the way, don't you?
yeah, Chelsea getting eliminated by Mainz, and they were
That's the bit of
second
luck.
in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's the bit of luck I had.
Yeah. Leipzig got to the quarterfinals being knocked out by PSV on penalties. So how did Leipzig do in the league? They finished 4th. So they would still be in the Champions League next year. So
Yeah.
Dortmund, Frankfurt's there though in
Yeah.
terms of Europa League football, but it don't matter now.
Don't matter.
You've completed it.
I had a little bit of luck with Villa coming available. Took a chance with them being bottom of the league, but it paid off.
Speaking of being paid off, I got France done just
Yeah.
by a point against Marseille, who really took it to the wire, and then beating Lyon in the Coupe de France. Aquilani's Coupe Lyon as well in the Coupe de France final, 2-0 to get PSG done and France done in 1.5 seasons, which means I only need 1 trophy.
I only need 1 trophy.
Dad only needs 1 trophy.
And where are we?
Back to where it all began.
Germany.
Started in Germany. We've got to go back to Germany.
No, I don't believe how this story just gone.
I
It's
know.
the merry-go-round of
If
managers,
anybody's
isn't it?
forgot, we started off with Dortmund and Frankfurt, and we only won 1 trophy each there, and now we've got to go back to Germany each. Now, in terms of jobs available, insecure Steven Bergis at Frankfurt. That's my old stomping ground. That's where I won the league in season number 1 and then decided to leave them.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Could that be a position that I'd declare interest for and try and go for? Oh. But then, with the PSG job available,
Anything
it
can
could
happen.
lead anything, especially
Anything
in
can
the Bundesliga, because we're
Yes.
looking at the likes of Dortmund, who have just won the league.
Dortmund come back from where they were in the league.
Yeah, so Dad, they were 3 games in.
Oh, I know that, but
You act like it was like 13 games
I
in.
didn't expect them to come back and win the league.
Jesus. Now, Yassel has been there for over 10 years. So I don't think he'll be leaving. Matisse Yassel. That's a hard one to move out of the
when
door.
PSG job comes available, you'd be surprised how
It's
many.
come out like 3 times and he hasn't moved once then. And if he keeps on doing that well, I don't know. And then in terms of Bayern Munich, Nagelsmann, who has been there for about 7 years.
Yeah, he don't move much now, does he?
But he is a former PSG manager.
Yeah.
And he was there for a while. He might go back. Who knows?
Oh, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
This is going to be a big summer. So let's see what the manager merry-go-round has in store for us this time round.
So as we go into the 16th season, Dad and I are tied with just 1 trophy left each to win, and it's back where we started in Germany, where we have to win it. Well, it's time to find ourselves a new job, and that means leaving the current ones, hoping that it will create a manager merry-go-round that we really need to happen to end up in Germany. The first manager change was Vincent Kompany. However, he's moving from Real Madrid to take my old job at PSG, which spurred Oli Glasner to leave Manchester United to take that Real Madrid job. But the merry-go-round never reached Germany, as the last move was Luis Enrique, who moved from Chelsea to Manchester United. But as the season began, we went months waiting for something, and nothing in Germany was coming up. After 10 games, there was no team really underperforming, and the season looked as it should. It wasn't until the new year where one of the big teams in Germany started getting itchy feet with their position. And back to where it all began. Eintracht Frankfurt sacked their manager Steven Berghuis, and I was right in applying and declaring my interest for the role. Dad decided not to apply for the job at Frankfurt, and I was invited in for an interview and was clearly the star candidate, because the board at Eintracht Frankfurt welcomed me back with open arms to become their manager again.
Well, back where we first started, Eintracht Frankfurt became available. They were in 10th place.
Yeah.
I went for it before even realising that they're still in the DFB-Pokal and in the semi-final, and not against Bayern Munich yet. Bayern Munich's still there, but it's Augsburg in front of them. Why didn't you go for it?
Well, I didn't know that, because like we said, we both didn't know it. I took a little bit of a chance, really. I just thought, were they 10th in the league, weren't they, Frankfurt?
10th in the league.
Time when you
need to win the league. I need to win the cup, you need to win the league.
So there was no way I was going to win the league. They were already 30 points behind, so to me it wasn't feasible. So I had to take a chance that you didn't go in and win the cup. But like you said, we didn't know they were going to be in the cup still.
No, I just applied for it thinking, it's Frankfurt. It makes sense for me to go back to Frankfurt. And then it wasn't until they offered me the job and I clicked and seen there was a little tick next to DFB-Pokal. So they're still in it.
I'm a bit worried now, must admit. But it's a chance I had to take. They were no good to me. I couldn't win the league with them. So it could be a waste of time for me, because in between another job could come up that could be a little bit more sort of better for me to take.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for, really. Dortmund are still winning the league. If Bayern don't win anything, that job might come available, but now I need them to win the cup. So.
Oh, yeah. That's true, yeah.
I've took a chance. That's why I didn't apply for it. They were no good for me to win the league.
All right. They are also in the Europa League too, which is kind of hilarious. I've already done it, but still, they are in the Europa League. There's some big teams in there.
I hope you win that trophy and nothing else.
That would be very annoying. All right. Well, this Frankfurt side that I have joined, they're good. They're not amazing. They're definitely not one of the best teams in the league. They've got this very good centre-back here. He looks fantastic. They've got a decent centre-back there. He looks quite good. Defensively, yeah, great. I think they're missing a bit of a striker, so I'm actually going to play this guy up front, who's a defensive midfielder and a striker. But every time I was doing his best pick 11, he wasn't going into the striker role, and I don't understand why. So if I was to show you now, I've actually got the centre-back Dylan playing CDM, because I actually want him to play there for a while and use centre-backs there for the time being. We've got an okay left-back there at left wing-back, but the best 11 pick puts them all over the shop. And they've got this man up front with 11 finishing, 14 composure. I don't want him up front. No siree. I want the other guy, Malota. I want him up front. And he's only scored 2 goals all season, this Malota. Girth, who's up front right now, has scored 9. So I want to put my trust in this man right now. and see how he does. They got Arthurzinho on the left, who doesn't look too bad either, from Brazil. He looks all right. Outside of that, there's not a lot of good players.
No.
So just got to hope this system, this sort of three at the back sort of formation works quite well, dropping into basically what Man United play.
And they ain't doing very well,
but yeah, we'll bring this into sort of like that, and we'll see how it does for the rest of this season, because we've got a semi-final coming up against Betis, well, a quarter-final against Betis in the Europa League, and a semi-final against Augsburg. So let's see how it does.
Upon taking over at Frankfurt, we established a good foundation in our first few games, winning 4 out of our first 5. That included both legs of the Europa League quarter-final tie against Real Betis, and in both fixtures we kept the clean sheet too, beating them 1-0 home and away. However, the important fixture against Augsburg in the semi-final of the DFB-Pokal soon arrived, and we hoped that we could continue the run, taking the lead in extra time because of the 0-0 finish after 90 minutes. And while Dad was still sat waiting for something to happen for him, he is going to have to watch me compete for the trophy as we win the semi-final 2-0. It's going to be a difficult fixture though, as we have Bayern Munich, who pumped Heidenheim 6-0 in their semi-final to play in the final. It wouldn't be our only cup final either, as we come back from a 1-0 loss at our home ground in the Europa League to destroy Udinese 3-0 in Italy to go on to face Arsenal in the Europa League final. Annoyingly, we drew our final 2 league fixtures, but still a respectable 7th place finish in the season for the Bundesliga, and it's all down to the final 2 games. Although we already have won the Europa League, I still wanted to win it because 1, it was against my old team Arsenal that I failed to win this trophy with, and 2, I wanted the players to be on form as they go into the DFB-Pokal final. And it took until extra time again, where the first goal, but it was a Frankfurt one, and it was a beauty from Arthurzinho. From that, Arsenal pressed, and this opened up gaps in their defence, and Arthurzinho found a great pass, and we got ourselves a second to kill the game off. On to the important one then, and the DFB-Pokal final, and a win here will complete our Glory Hunter cabinet, but against Bayern, we're still the underdogs. What actually happened in this game though shocked everyone, and even me, because within 10 minutes we found ourselves ahead with beautiful football being played on the edge of Bayern Munich's box, and from there on, we played like the world famous multiple European champions as we completely battered Bayern Munich, finding a second goal before halftime from Melita. And on the other side of halftime was when that man struck again with his second to make it 3-0. And he wasn't done there as we complete Glory Hunter in style, winning the final trophy, the DFB-Pokal, with a Melita hat-trick. Unfortunately for Dad, he never got a shot at that final trophy, and although I understand why he didn't apply for Frankfurt, it turned out to be a massive mistake, allowing me to go back. As I returned to where I left in Season 1 after winning the league title with them, to complete my Glory Hunter cabinet, lifting the DFB-Pokal Cup 15 years later.
Well, there we have it. It's the end of Glory Hunter. 4-0. Hey, the Bayern job might come up for you if you...
Yeah, it should do that, shouldn't it? How the hell have you pulled that off?
Unbelievable. We got one man to thank.
I could understand it if you'd won 1-0 with a little bit of luck, but you absolutely hammered them, really, didn't you?
Yeah, we destroyed them.
Yeah.
This man is the one to thank. Melota.
Well,
2 goals all season when we joined.
Yeah.
He got 3 in the final alone, plus an assist. Very good. 10 goals all season he got. He got 6 in 3 games in the DFB-Pokal, and that's because I think he scored in the semi-final as well. So if we go back and have a look. Oh yeah, by the way, we also won the Europa League too. We won the double amazingly. In the second, he scored 2 goals in the DFB-Pokal. In extra time, it went to extra time, and we managed to pull that one off. But done it. Great timing.
Well done.
To be honest, a bit of a mistake from you, I think.
Well, you could say that, but I had no intentions of taking them because of where they were in the league. They were just no good for me.
Yeah.
So even though I've lost it, and I'm thinking, you should have joined them. Why would I have joined them? They were never going to win the league. So even if I knew they were still in the cup, I probably still wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So I can't kick myself for that. I just think a little bit of luck went your way, and you absolutely hammered them, Bayern Munich. I can take my hat off and say well done.
I think you were quite unlucky with the clubs being these two. They just had the same manager for so long. It's still Jassel and it's still Nagelsmann at Bayern Munich. Those two clubs just have not changed their manager in like 10 years. So they never came available.
It's unfortunate. I was hoping that one of them was going to have a bad season, and one of the managers would have got sacked, and then I could have just jumped in with one of the top two. Really, I would have took a couple of other teams below them as well, but I was never looking at Frankfurt at the way they were in the league. 10th when you took over them, they were never going to be any good for me for what I needed.
Yeah.
So they were. I mean, we didn't know at the time when you applied for it, but it worked out in your favour, didn't it?
Yep. Well, we got one final trophy to add to the Glory Hunter cabinet in the winners cabinet, but you got damn close as well. Just one trophy away.
I think it's been so good.
The closest this Glory Hunter has
been
ever
so good.
been. Yeah. So let us know what you want to see next in terms of a series, of course, down in the comment section, and subscribe so you do not miss what happens next. Let's add that trophy to the cabinet.